Hello everybody and welcome to WGL TV. This is the grand final now of the WGL Soundblaster PROAM tournament. Hope you guys are as excited as me and Gooch are. It's a best of 11 series between the two top emerging teams out of the hand-picked best 8 teams in the world, you could say, Gooch.
Yeah, definitely. Of course, we have got the recently joined Apex.Collapse lineup. They are recent additions to the Apex organisation. They are, of course, from the United States of America, taking up against our European lineup in this final, which is, of course, TCM. Now, TCM currently, as it stands, are undefeated in this tournament. They fought their way through the group stages. Nobody managed to defeat them, and they even had Optic in their group, which surely goes without saying that was a great achievement in itself. They then went into the semi-finals and again didn't get defeated. They placed up against NYP. It was a close first 2 maps, but then when they got warmed up, they just ran riot and they meet Apex.Collapse here in the final. Now, do you just want to talk a bit about Apex's route through this round?
Yeah, well, we've been doing our research this time. You know, me and Gooch have been reading the feedback threads and stuff, and we are putting in the work. We've got our pad with all our notes on. But we've been looking into Apex.Collapse a little bit more, actually, who have only recently joined Apex. They were just formerly known as the Collapse lineup. And yet collectively, as a team of 4 players, they've earned $80,000 between them. And that in itself just kind of shows how strong this team is. And when you... I'm just seeing the stream chat go crazy. When you actually put that up against the achievements of TCM, sorry about that, my mum's just walked in the room. When you put that up against the achievements of TCM, it is somewhat overwhelming, but TCM is such a strong European side. Obviously, the European scene isn't as big as the American scene at the moment, and that will have some weight in the actual earnings of the individual players. But the route to the actual final... Interestingly, TCM have yet to be defeated. TCM have beat Optic, they've beat Tech, they've beat Dominance, and absolutely destroyed NYP, which both yourself and me are part of, Gooch, 4-0. It's only actually Collapse that have lost en route to the final, and that was to NYP in the group stages, which was 3-2. So that would suggest that maybe TCM have a little bit of an advantage here.
Yeah, of course. I mean, Apex.Collapse did get defeated in a slightly controversial 3-2 against My Pressure back a couple of weeks ago. And then, of course, TCM found them in the semi-finals and wiped them aside 4-0. So, on paper, does that mean that TCM are going to run away with this final? Of course, as Rel has already stated, this is going to be a best of 11 series, so I hope you've all got your popcorn ready. You are all sat at your screens. I mean, we have got nearly 700 viewers already, which is absolutely phenomenal, so thank you all for tuning in, guys. We are going to get this show on the road as we go. First map, capture the flag on bootleg.
Yep. Well, here we go. We're going to get straight on board with the top team. This is a best of 11 series. It's going to be a huge final and a really entertaining one for you guys. We are going to be playing this on the European host, but that doesn't seem to have affected Apex.Collapse whatsoever so far in this tournament, as they've absolutely stormed through the games. So we're starting off on board with TCM, and I am watching Jake from the word go.
Yeah, he's opted to push straight down into this bottom middle area, just throwing his stuns over. That will, of course, prevent the rush into the bottom from the other team, and that is 3 down instantly there. Apex.Collapse instantly on the back foot. It was only Parasite left last alive. Jake has already managed to get his hands on that flag as Parasite has been dropped down by Rich, of course. He managed to pull that away into the cafe area. He was going for the more direct route of straight down the middle by the look of things, however, did actually get shut down by Revan in the back. Now Rich straight onto those spawns. He is, of course, manipulating the spawns there, blocking the cage side and hard aiming over to the roadside spawns. Now that flag is in the hands of Flux, but Rich momentarily just took his eye off the ball, and Rich has been dropped, but Jake going in with a 2-piece there.
You know what, TCM have opened up really, really strong here, just kill after kill. It was actually only 30 seconds into the game when we saw the first kill from Apex, and that was by Revan. And if you just quickly bring up that scoreboard at the moment, you can see the dominance that TCM are showing. Hammers there, picking up another 2-piece. Rich is currently in possession of this flag, and he has great support from his teammates. Let's see what Rich can do, just falling up onto platform, but here we go, Apex answering back, taking out 2, and Rich is just staying alive somehow, but that is 4 down now against TCM. Let's see what is going on, and I think Gooch has timed out there, having a few connection issues, but nevertheless, let's continue on with this game and see what's going to come out of the bag, because now we are seeing Apex answering back. Although 3 have gone down, it is all up to Parasite to actually keep hold of this flag. There is no way he's going to capture it. Oh, and I've just eaten my words completely. Somehow, against all the odds, Parasite has managed to capture that flag single-handedly. He was the last person alive for Apex there. You know, all of TCM were about and could have done something about it, but brilliant play from Parasite, taking his team into the lead despite TCM seemingly outslaying Apex at the moment. We're actually seeing a bit of a counter-attack here, but it has come to nothing. Absolutely superb play there by the Apex lineup. I did see a little bit of Twitter banter between the two teams before this game. You know, Apex haven't really warmed up for this as such, but TCM have been on, you know, getting a few scrims in beforehand. TCM's argument was that, well, Apex has been practicing a lot harder before there. Gooch, are you with me? Gooch is still having those connection issues. We're going to try and get him in as soon as possible. In the meantime, let's stick on board with TCM and see what Hammers can do. Now, despite going 1 flag down, you've got to be careful not to overextend yourself, and Hammers is doing a great job just holding this middle area, preventing any attack, and it will allow them to break out spawn and go for the counter, because every single kill is so important. Almost picking up that 2-piece, but unfortunately for him, Liar was ready up on top platform. Rich is going to have to do something here, and he needs to break his team out of this little spawn trap that they seem to be in, because now Parasite has picked up that flag, and we're seeing TCM on the defense. So after such a strong opening from them, we're seeing them starting to struggle here, and maybe Apex have just had that little bit of time that they needed to warm up before this game. Checking out Parasite's Twitter feed, we could see he was playing GB games way late into the night. I actually saw Dido telling him to get an early night because this was a little bit more important. There's a lot of money riding on this, guys, don't forget. $3,000 in total, $1,000 going to the runners-up and $2,000 going to the overall victors. So you know what, even the loser here is going to walk away with something. And I wouldn't rule TCM out of this yet. I would still say that they are the stronger team at the moment on this actual map, despite them being 1 flag down. So maybe they're going to be able to pull something out of the bag. But that said, Dido and Liar taking out 2. Rich doing some work down this left-hand side. And as he pushes up here, he does eat 2 stun grenades, and the Semtex is no doubt going to come in. Can he just pick up a kill? Yes, he can before he goes down. And he's actually in a really good position now if he can support his teammates. But no, Liar's grenade is going to stop that. Brilliant play from Liar, and there we go, following it up with a headshot against Jake. Hammers needs to defend this flag. He's all on his own, and he's going to find this difficult if he doesn't have support from his teammates very soon. So he's just going to hold this position as long as he can. Stuns flying in. What can you do here, Hammers? Once again, bringing up that kill feed fairly one-sided towards TCM, and I'm expecting them to get a bit more into this game as we move into round number 2. Well, Hammers is going to have to retreat somewhat here. But it is eventually going to go down to Revan. Revan actually 18 years old. The other 3 teammates, Parasite and Dido, 17 years old. Liar actually the oldest member of the squad at 20 years old. Just a little interesting fact for you guys. So we'll carry on watching TCM, and Rich is going to get that final kill with a pistol. There's going to be no more flags captured in this particular round. A great play from both teams and a really interesting start to this tournament so far. I'm experiencing a little bit of lag myself, and I hope I'm not victim of the same situation that Gooch has just been put through. Unfortunately, there will always be people trying to ruin these streams and these tournaments, but we just have to soldier on, guys, and try not to let it ruin it for us. So round number 1 is going to go to Apex. Good start for them. Best of 11, you know, they can drop a few maps, TCM, and still be well into this. So let's not rule anyone out just yet. Let's switch things up, though, and get on board with Apex.Collapse. Gooch is back online, and I think Melmoth is going to try and get him into this game and into the Skype call. It's interesting, really. I've not really commentated on my own for quite some time, so interesting experience for myself. Well, here we go. Let's continue to watch Rev, and he does take some damage here down this alleyway, and it is going to be Flux who picks up that kill. Interestingly, Flux and Jake have teamed every single EGL/ECL, going right back to ECL2, ECL2, 3, 4 and 5, and they place 5th/6th in ECL2, 2nd at ECL3, 9th/12th, 9th to 12th at EGL4, and 4th at EGL5, so top placements, and it really does represent how this team do deserve to be in this grand final of the WGL Soundblaster PROAM tournament. Well, flag has been pulled, but it is no doubt going to get returned with just a minute of the second round gone. Revan is straight onto that, and remember, Apex just need to hold this now. They could quite easily go for the 0-0. Sorry, I was just looking in the chat. Bye-bye, Rel, apparently. Fantastic. They could quite easily go for the 0-0 on this side, and you know what? That would just mean they would get the win by default, because they are currently 1-0 up, and they just need to hold on to that lead. That is the important thing here. But this is anyone's game. It's so tight between these two teams. I'm still on board with Revan here, but Parasite has pulled that flag. But look at Revan's positioning here. It's absolutely sublime. Parasite is running it along the other side of the map, and Revan, I thought he just missed someone then, but I think he's caught onto it. Well, Revan's positioning is just cutting anyone off from actually cutting around and stopping it. So it was going to be up to that grenade, which did go in, and a flag thankfully has been returned. And I think we have Gucci. Are you with us there, Gooch?
I am indeed. Now, Rel, can you just summarise this for me, just to bring me up to speed? I do apologise for my absence, guys. I am back with you.
I'll be honest, Gooch. I don't know. I don't know if it's me or you, but I was finding it difficult to hear you there. But just to summarise, I think I caught the end of it. It is currently 1-0 to Apex.Collapse. It's been incredibly close between these two teams, and I still believe this is anyone's game here. TCM could get back into it, and I think we're going to see Apex.Collapse adopting a more reserved approach as we edge towards the final 2 minutes of this round.
Okay, yeah, I think I am having some slight technical issues this evening. Your voice was not as I am usually hearing it.
I'm not sure exactly what's happening, but there we go. Flag has been picked up. Oh, but it has just been dropped once again straight away. Let's see if Liar can do anything as he edges towards top platform. Manages to take out Rich there, does go down. Liar still in this dangerous position, top platform, and Jake is going to drop to the floor once again. Liar doing absolute work now, and there we go. 2 minute mark has been hit. Just bringing up the scoreboard. Dido seems to be falling behind on kills, but it has not affected the overall team. Remember, this is a team game. This is not Lone Wolves, and Collapse are playing in it brilliantly. 2 go down against them though, and because that gun has been picked up, it's giving away his position. That's 4 down against Apex, I think, and someone has just spawned here around this brick area. But here we are seeing an all-out TCM assault, and they need this. It is now or never if they want to secure this equalizer, but it is looking very good for them at the moment, because all of Apex have spawned a long way away, and I don't know if they're going to be able to catch this at all. Oh, Rich was doing well on the spawns. Jake is there, and it's going to be up to Revan. It is all up to Revan if he wants to secure this win for his team. Is he going to be able to get this cut off? No, he's going to pick that flag up. Gooch has unfortunately gone there once again. Revan tried to run the flag away. Interesting tactic. Just trying to delay them. They just need to hold on for 1 minute 8 seconds longer. Oh, and it's so close. But the flag has actually gone in favour there of TCM. So we are seeing a 1-1 tie. Very interesting here, and not something that I would have seen coming so late in the game. But here we are seeing a counter from Apex. They're trying to get back into this now and trying to seal the deal in round number 1 with 40 seconds left on the clock. Let's see if they can pull out all the stops. Flag has been dropped. Oh, it's getting very scrappy towards the final 30 seconds. The flag is now in TCM Hammer's hands, and here we see the tables completely turning. And could TCM pull this out of the bag out of nowhere? Oh, the flag did just get returned, which is going to mean we are going to be seeing overtime. Wow, what a brilliant start to this best of 11 tournament. So close between these two teams, extremely evenly matched. Please bear in mind though, this is all being played on the European host, and some credit does need to be given towards Apex.Collapse for that, as they do not seem to be letting that set them back at all, and continue to impress everyone, I think, really, throughout this whole tournament. I'm hoping the stream can hear me all okay. So I think it's all right. I'm just going to check my Twitter feed. Let me know how you think the teams are doing, guys. If you want to tweet me at the VP Brothers, I'd like to hear some of your opinions. I'd mention a few names, get a few shout-outs going if you want to ask any questions about the teams, anything like that. But yeah, the game is going to end here, and we're going to go to a tie. So 1-1 capture the flag bootleg, one of my favourite capture the flag maps actually. I'm not sure what's going to go on with Melmoth's template here, so I'm the only person on camera at the moment. I feel really bad for Gooch, as I know how frustrating it can be when this happens to you. But what I'm going to do, I'm just going to have a quick look at the scoreboard. I'll be honest, Melmoth, I can't, everything's crackling up for me as well, so I hope I'm not going to see the same fate as Gucci, so just type whatever you need to tell me. But I'm just looking at the scoreboard right now, seeing what was going on for both teams, if there was any standout players. Looking at the bottom ends of the scoreboards for both teams, we can see Dido not having the best of games, double negative there, 10 to 20. But as we've said time and time again, this is a team game. It's capture the flag. This isn't team deathmatch. It doesn't matter about those kills and deaths as long as you're making those important kills and allowing your team to pull those flags and make those important runs. So let's start things up and keep our eyes in that clock. We'll go on the top team and keep our eyes on the clock in the bottom left-hand corner if a flag does get pulled. What's really interesting I find about stopwatch on capture the flag at the moment is if it gets past a certain point, you do tend to see teams slow down. You'll see this big aggression from both teams from the start. They'll go all out trying to get that flag as quick as they can. And then maybe when we hit the 2-minute 30 mark, we'll see them slow down and then play a lot more defensively and probably not see a capture. That just seems to be the way that teams play this. It's a fairly standard way of playing it. Well, let's see if TCM and Apex want to switch things up and do something different here. Well, Rich taking out Lie. A lot of support for Rich in the actual chat, having a look at that. Yeah, quite a lot of support as he does pick up that early two-piece for his team. Jake is actually retreating though here. Oh no, and Hammers. I'm not quite sure. Ooh, Hammers' team killed himself. Hammers has switched team and killed Liar and Dido. So either Hammers is going on an absolute rampage wanting to kill all the teams, or he's noticed something's wrong. He's actually got on Spectator here. I'm not quite sure what's happened. I don't know if one of the players isn't there. I'm assuming this game is going to end. I'm not sure who the host is if they want to end it, because TCM clearly aren't playing. So there's obviously something wrong that I haven't identified myself. I'm just going to check my Twitter feed, see what you guys are saying. JRH wants a shout out. One from Louis776. Out of the two teams playing tonight, which do you believe will have the higher placement in each L7? Which is a really, really good question, because you know what? It's quite hard for Collapse because they have a lot to live up to. The only American team that's come over to play at EGL at the moment has been the Optical, the former Apex squad, which plays first, so they can do nothing. They can't better them. The only thing they can do is equal them, so anything less than first will be seen as a little bit of a disappointment for them somewhat. I honestly think that Collapse are the stronger team. They do have the disadvantage with host here, but I think that Collapse would take the edge. That's just my personal opinion. Socko, similar question. Who do you think will shine tonight from both teams? Again, I'm trying not to be too biased here. I think Collapse again will prove themselves, and I think Collapse might actually take this. But that said, I think we're going to see some big plays from some TCM players. I mean, we've seen Rich going in really early there. Rich has been picking up some big 2 pieces, 3 pieces. The way he actually plays, his style of play, he gets in those positions that allows his team to run those flags while he can lock them in spawn and pick up kill after kill. He's a very reliable player, a brilliant support player. Player to watch. So Mike Searle, similar answer. I'd keep your eye on Rich, keep your eye on that kill feed, see what he's doing. Your voice is fine. TCM looking stronger from Poshko. Probably can't say that username. I'll just retweet it if you guys want to check my Twitter. But here we go. We're going back into the game now. And you know what? We'll jump on board with the top team once again. I'm not sure what the problem was, but I can only assume that we've restarted from scratch. So let's just disregard all of that overtime that we've seen so far and just assume this is it. It is still a 1-1 tie between these two teams. We've seen Jake from the start early on, so I want to watch Hammers and see what Hammers is going to do here. What's really interesting about TCM, actually, from watching them play, is usually we see them try and go for a 4 AR tactic. I've seen them do it before. All 4 of them will use ARs, even if they're playing objective, whatever position they're playing. But interestingly here, that is not the case. Hammers has gone for the SMG, and Hammers is usually predominantly an AR player, more of a defensive one, if anything. But Apex opening up strong. Parasite takes up 2, and Rich needed to make that kill against Revan. It's actually Flux who picks up the flag first, but oh no, Flux is left all on his own, and they know exactly where he is. He just needs to keep safe here. He needs to rely on his teammates a little bit here. Fortunately for him, they have spawned all around him and are defending, but Revan is going big for his team to go down. Rich managed to take out Dido, and as the stuns come over, things aren't looking good at all for the flag carrier, but Rich once again with the 2-piece to save the day and keep TCM in this game. 1 minute of round 1 gone. Oh, and a team kill from Dido there. I've criticised him a little bit. I don't want to go too hard on him. This is just the first game. Maybe he's warming up a little bit, but it's not the best of openings. No doubt he's going to pull out all the stops in these later rounds, and we're going to see a completely different player later on. Still watching Flux. Interestingly, keeping himself quite open. You know, you would probably expect him to stay in a corner or something like that, particularly when he's using an SMG. And hope that his teammates can be doing the defending, because he doesn't want to overexpose himself. He just needs to hold that flag. That's his role at the moment until his teammates can return that to the home base. Just going to check my Twitter, see what's going on. Who do you reckon is going to be the best at future events? Similar answer. You know, this is just personal opinion at this stage. I think Collapse are a really strong team, but I couldn't say either way, because there we go. TCM taking out 3. Final player left alive is Dido, and they know where he is, and they are all going in for him now. Flux needs to get this to the base as quickly as possible. Oh, and this is really good. Revan's all on his own, and the flag has been returned. The 2-minute 59 flag was captured. 2 minutes 59. Quickly, make a note. So 2 minutes 59 there for TCM. Absolutely fantastic play, and not something that I think a few of you guys were expecting early on, particularly when we saw Apex take that first flag. TCM have really pulled out all the stops to get back into this game, and you know, it's really showing what caliber of players they are purely from that overtime. Kansas Travis, who do you think is the better AR, Hammers or Rich? Ooh, now there is a question. Both completely different AR players. Wow, that's a really difficult one to choose, actually. You know what? Purely because I've seen more of him so far in this tournament, I'd say Rich is stronger. But I don't think there's much in it at all, and it's a very, very hard one to call. So here we go. We want to see things from a different perspective now. And we've got to go on the top team once again, because we want to watch Apex this time. And I'm starting off on Revan. Does a little bit of commentating for Deserto Live now and again, and he's actually done it at events. I've seen in it. Well, I'm basing that off his Twitter picture, if I'm being extremely honest. But you know what? Apex really need to be aggressive here. TCM are no doubt going to play this defensively. There is no shame in camping when there's $2,000 on the line, and they're hungry for it. They want it. So Revan probably needs to be going in a little bit more here, but who am I to criticise as 3 of TCM go down? This is bad news for TCM. Only Flux is left alive, and Revan is getting in a brilliant position to actually cut off any sort of flag capture prevention. Oh my goodness, this is going to go in for Apex. I think they might have actually just pulled this out of the bag. 4 minutes 14, the flag is captured. Wow. And my goodness, could this be any closer so far? Very, very well played to Apex. And you know what? We do find this interesting. I'm sure you guys are questioning the choice of the thermal scope on the PP90 there, but nevertheless, you do find when a team captures the flag very quickly in overtime that the other team just seems to get this momentum from absolutely nowhere and can somehow just completely bolt it and go for it so hard, and Apex did it. And you know, just the difference in how long was it? 1 minute and 15 seconds has meant the difference in a round. Second map is going to be Arcade and Search and Destroy, and we'll watch the bottom team to start with here. And I'm just having a quick look. I've been notified. Sorry, I was just checking some notifications. As to my understanding, Apex.Collapse were going to EGL. Someone's told me they're not. That could be bait, so don't take my word on any of that. That's probably just a bit of a rumour at the moment. To my understanding, they were going, so please correct me if I am wrong. But there is, of course, the Apex EU squad, which is currently Excellence, Monksy, Vapes, and Torres for highly achieved European players. Monksy not played for quite a while competitively, but was at the top of his game when he did play. He's actually been studying in uni. Cambridge University actually, so fair play to Monksy. I'm watching Apex though at the moment, and I'm on board with Parasite, who is the bomb carrier. Hammers has taken out Liar, and Dido has just answered straight back and picked up the second kill against Jake, and this is the Dido that we all know and respect. 2 kills straight away, half the team fall at the hands of Dido. Parasite opting to just sit up here, get a good vantage point across that area, and he is going to pick up that final kill very, very easily against Flux. 1-0 there to Apex. And what I want to do, I want to stay on board with Apex again. We'll probably go for a 2-round rotation on the stream so we can see both the defend and an attack, so we can see how the teams are playing it from both perspectives. Sorry, I just got a bit. I'm just reading the tweet, seeing if anyone's asking any more questions, because I'm trying to interact with you guys. It is quite difficult commentating on your own. I know Benson does it quite a bit, so fair play to him. It's not the easiest of things, but we're staying on board with Apex. again, because we want to see this defense now. And I'm going to start off watching Revan again. It puts us on him by default. Lion manages to get the kill against Rich. Hammers go down against Parasite, and a lot of action very early on here. It is 1 versus 3. Let's switch things up now to Jake, because we're going to be staying on board with TCM for round number 3. And see if Jake can pull out the impossible here against arguably one of the strongest Call of Duty teams in the world. Can he do this? One goes down, 1 versus 2 now, but Jake has sustained some damage and revealed his location. He knows that there is someone around this area and somehow escapes that line of fire. Revan was just round the corner ready to pick up the kill. And, you know, the teamwork of Apex is really shining through here and ringing true, because Parasite and Revan know exactly where the other player is going to be. They've got each other's backs covered. If one of them did go down, the other one would be ready to pick up the kill. Trying to get Gooch in here as quickly as possible. Lime's watching the WGL with Coke and Ice and lasagna. So eating your meals and watching the stream, absolutely love it. Well, let's watch TCM now. Let's see what they can do, and let's watch Flux, who actually has attended an MLG event when he did fly over alongside Excellence Jake. And my goodness, oh, it's just completely gone from my head, and that's going to absolutely drive me crazy. But he did fly out and play under the Infused banner. Didn't achieve the highest of placements, but got a respectable one. And, you know, fair play to them. But at the moment, this team is really struggling. Apex, a very, very strong Search and Destroy team, currently 3-0 up in this Search and Destroy. And they want to bring this back to a 1-1. They do not want to be going 2-0 down in this best of 11. WGL finals and a Mackey's for Oldfield. Well, we're going to see another round here from TCM. I don't want to watch Flux, we saw him from the start. Let's watch Rich. I've been bigging up Rich a little bit. Formerly played alongside my brother, which is probably how I know him a little bit better than the other guys in the team. That was playing under Link. And I know he's a very, very strong player. He's currently holding the soda machine area. Letting a few bullets loose, unfortunately not picking up any kills, but TCM collectively taking out 2 there. Jake does go down. This is now a 2 versus 2 situation. Again, it does seem like TCM really, really struggling in the Search and Destroy to do anything against Apex. But the bomb is about to go down, and Rich is in a very good position to defend this. He takes a lot of damage and he needs to stay alive here. If he goes down early, it's going to be 1 versus 2, and the defuse will no doubt go down. He just needs to wear the time down, but Parasite is all over that situation. Parasite now up against Flux, and Lyre was with him, and there is the defuse, a complete whitewash. You know, we just saw a completely different Apex there in Search and Destroy. It's going to be interesting to see if we see a similar thing in the remainder of this Best of 11 series. Whether, you know, Apex are just going to win every single Search and Destroy and the capture flag to be close. But considering they are playing on a European host as well, that is very, very impressive. Round number 2, Search and Destroy Arcaden goes to Apex. So
well done, Rel.
A little late. Gucci, you're back.
I am indeed. Basically, what I have gone and done is I've made myself a new Skype, reset my IP address, so nobody can get me.
Oh, that is dedication. Dedication to the cause.
I'll say that now anyway. We shall see. I do apologise, guys, for the absence. I've been following it all on Twitter, seeing what's been going down. So I gather that Apex.Collapse have won on overtime, capture the flag on bootleg, and then they went on to win 4-0 Search and Destroy on Arcaden, which is very impressive, to be honest. The way that I actually did see TCM go all at the Apex lineup, first of all, on the bootleg capture the flag, they did look very dominant, so it's a surprise perhaps to see that the Apex lineup did actually take that.
Okay, well, we're going to start off. Let's start off with the top team once again. It's just fairly simple. It's going to be TCM this time, and let's see if they can win another capture the flag.
Now, I am on board with Jake, first of all, who's rushed straight across that ATM side, gone for an impressive rush, gets 2 already, took 1 down on that white car, and then took another player down that B-Dom area. Now, guys, remember, for all of you watching the stream on the YouTube page, you can click around the Soundblaster logos and get direct to the Soundblaster website. Check out their goodies and get a discount code today. But in the meantime, Parasite has pulled that flag all up the mannequin side, but Jake is doing the exact opposite and pulling the flag straight through the middle now. Looking like he might come head on head with Parasite, judging by that delayed timer, but Hammer's going huge there, taking out 2, and Parasite does manage to get up a kill. Jake is weak, but Hammers has taken down the flag carrier. Hammers with the 4-piece there to top it all off. Jake is going to get the return, get stunned and naded by Revan now. All they need to do is get this flag in and they will be 1-0 up on the bad side.
And you know what? Whilst whilst we were focusing on the other players there, and it was quite a while ago, Jake played absolutely phenomenally. Then I've never seen such accuracy with a PP90 in my life. But the first flag goes to TCM, and remember, TCM are actually on the harder side at the moment, so this is really, really good news for them. They can accept to draw on this side and still be going into round number 2 quite positive with the heads held high. If they can just close this flag down and keep it a 1-0 lead, that is going to be big for TCM.
And so far they are looking like doing so. Liar is the last alive for the Apex lineup. He's just going to make sure that the TCM boys do not get that flag return. But it's looking like that is an almost certainty now, as it is left in limbo in the mannequin side. Unfortunately there, Rich getting taken down by Dido as he was actually going in to return that. I think he actually might have done if he didn't get stuck on that wall. But now Jake trying to throw some stuns over to prevent that flag being pulled. He's currently left on that back catwalk and now is in the hands of Parasite once again. He started this move off. Can he finish it and get it all the way around the back? We will see. Jake's just taken down Revan, who was supporting Parasite, and is now going to rush straight up at the flag carrier. Parasite.
Oh. And Jake went for it there. He tried to go for the challenge. Oh, and Dido has timed out. We're probably going to see the game paused here, maybe. Well, it's 2 minutes 40. The flag got returned, and it was 1-0 to TCM. I'm assuming they're gonna end it, maybe.
Yeah, Parasite's changing teams now. Of course, we are on a dedicated host, so of course, perhaps if that host isn't fully aware of what's going on, turns his eyes to his computer screen for just 2 seconds, he will have, of course, missed that. So it did take the changing teams for them to realise that. So we are going to get, of course, Dido back online as soon as possible and get him straight on in here. And I would be assuming that we'll resume from roughly around the same time. Like you say, Relly, it was 2 minutes 40 left on that clock, was it?
Around that, 2:40, 2:45. They're probably going to negotiate something when they start the game. Maybe they'll just start from a 1-0 lead, but start completely over. It's really unfortunate these things happen. But so far, 1-1 in this series. Just want to remind all you guys that are actually watching the stream at the moment, there is actually a 24-hour discount on these headsets that both myself and Gucci are sporting at the moment. They are the wireless Soundblaster headsets. They are awesome. I know that's going to seem completely biased with me using it and commentating with it right now, but it's the first wireless headset that I've had. And let me tell you, there's nothing better than... I'm not even going to... I'm not... No, you're professional now, Ralph. You've read the feedback thread. We're going to stop this. I'm
interested to see where you're actually going to go with that, to be honest.
I feel I have to finish it now. I was going to say there's nothing better than being able to go to the toilet and have a wee while listening to music. So anyway.
Okay, I did not see it go in there. I do apologise for our audience for that lapse in concentration. But no. I don't think so. I think it just got returned, but I might be wrong.
It got returned. He got taken out.
Did it get returned after Dido got took out?
It did. You know what? I'm from the EU, obviously, but a completely unbiased perspective, that should just be 1-0 to TCM and continuing from 2 minutes 45. But I don't know if they're just going to restart the whole thing here.
We have got Dido back in, guys, so we are getting underway. Capture the flag on lockdown. As soon as our technical expert gets his mind made up in my ear, we will know exactly what is going on, and then, of course, inform you guys. Who were we on board with? We were on board with TCM, weren't we? So we'll get back on board with those guys and see how they will play this. I am once again on board with Jake. He's opting for a different rush route now, straight into the middle, does get the better of Liar there, pushes, jumps and takes out Revan as well, so that is 2 down instantly. Jake going for the turn on in top man, does get the 3-piece, but then also gets taken down by Dido as well for the 4th. So now Rich takes down Dido and is able to push up a little bit. He is heavy weak off a previously thrown Semtex, and now the TCM lineup are looking very strong, and remember, once again, they are on the weaker side.
And you know what? That's the second time that Jake's opened up big for his team. Taking out 3 in quick succession is a huge advantage. You know what? They didn't manage to pull that flag, but it allowed TCM to get right into the Apex spawn and just wreak havoc. As you can see here, the kill feed completely dominated by TCM. Revan trying to change that, though, as he does take out Jake, but Flux is straight on the case, managing to take down Dido. Oh, but here is Rich right behind Flux. This could be really good for TCM.
Yeah, it could. They are looking very strong here. Rich has just taken down Liar as he ran back. past that flag. Now, his flag has been dropped, but he does manage to take out the player that has just done so. Jake is now opting to pull this straight into bottom white for a bit of added security there. Flag is being pulled by Dido. Lai gets the better of Rich as Rich was making his way over there to cut off that flag carrier as he opted for the safer option of Mannequins. But now Parasite has dropped Flux and was going in for the attack. Jake is just going to run away, constantly going for the safer option. Has got players all around him, his teammates and also the Collapse lineup, so he just needs to be very careful. Challenges Revan and does get the better of him. He's now got that ACR, which will of course help him out at that long range, and does just need to make sure he's safe and wait for the spawn of his teammates.
And certainly on the TCM side, Jake is really standing out for me here. We've seen some huge plays from him, and we've seen huge plays from each individual player, which is what's making this such an exciting grand final. But Jake is in a spot of trouble here. Whilst he does have the flag in a defensive position, Liar using the window to his advantage to actually make that kill. The flag has been dropped, but it is nowhere near being returned by Apex, and Rich isn't even going to go and pick that up. He's just going to try and make those kills.
Yeah, he knows that there are going to be players pushing for the return. He does get the better of Dido there. Hard aiming up at that window. Knows that he needs to get that flag before that 30-second timer goes down and auto returns. Revan and Parasite have both taken out Flux and Hammers, and they are pushing once again up to grab that flag. Liar and Revan both making kills. Flux needs to get some kills now to keep that flag where it is. Has been fully stunned. Knows there'll be players pushing in the middle. Knows there's one on his flag as well. Just going to grab that flag and go for the safer option. He has got two teammates spawned around him, and he's getting behind those sandbags, which is such a difficult position for Collapse to have to attack now. And yes, it was ended. Yeah, so go on.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say then, I think what's actually happened here is the teams agreed to end at a certain point, so I am assuming now that it is 1-0 to TCM if we take on board what happened before the disconnection of Dido. So let's work on that basis and see where we go with it. It is 1-0 to TCM. This is following a victory on Bootleg, capture the flag to TCM, a victory for Apex on Search and Destroy Arcaden. So this best of 11 is currently tied at 1-1, round number 3, 1-0 to TCM.
I thought you said... I thought that Apex took the first map.
No, yeah. Oh. Yep.
We're going Delta. No, we're not. We're going top. Spetnaz.
God, do you know what it is? I'd wrote on my... It's cause... Okay, just ignore me. Sorry about that, because I have been getting that incorrect. I really do apologise.
I had been host booted offline and I still knew the scores.
I'm really sorry, and that's... Oh, wow, that's a frustrating... Well, I'd wrote 4:14 down for Apex and assumed that was a better time because it was higher. Brilliant. Anyway, it's 2-0 to Apex. Really sorry about that to the stream viewers, as you've probably been doing your head in with me saying that over and over again. Yeah, I've just had a quick look at it now. Anyway, let's continue on with the game. Forget my stupidity and watch Apex and see what they can do and see if they can get back into this game. They're currently 1-0 down, but 2-0 up overall in... I'm sorry, guys, alright? 2-0 up overall in this best of 11 series.
Yep, so now we are on board with the Apex.Collapse lineup as they attempt to push straight into TCM, who are currently leading this map, what we believe to be 1-0. Of course, we did have that slight little problem early on, but now TCM are currently pulling a flag. It is in the hands of Jake, and that is 3 down for the Apex lineup. Only Parasite is left alive, and he is around his own flag area. He's going to have to throw a stun up. He has seen the player. Has that stun connected? I think it has, but that will have only been a very light hit. He has got the grenade, which is of course better than the Semtex in that position, but no, he has been dropped by Rich, and Jake has managed to successfully capture that flag, and that now puts them 2-0 into the lead, and Apex are on the weaker side of the two as well, so this doesn't bode well for them. They could be looking at dropping their first map of the final here.
Absolutely. I mean, that first capture the flag extremely close between the two sides for it to eventually go in Apex's favour, only by a slight margin, but we are seeing a much stronger TCM here, and I'm just, you know what, I'm really kicking myself because I think I've been saying throughout that TCM won that. Jesus Christ. Anyway, TCM looking like they're going to be able to take this if they can keep up this performance as they pull what could potentially be the third flag. Rich is right on those spawns. Parasite goes to the floor, and I can see this being 3-0 overall to TCM in this map.
Yeah, it's such a bad move to overextend against a lineup such as TCM. They are so strong with their ARs. Rich showing there as he got a 3-piece. Now make that 4-5 off the spawns, and Liar has just swapped teams as he had enough. Or did he kill himself? I'm not even too sure there. Dedo has gone on to spectators. Liar has Oh, I think they've had enough.
I'm assuming so.
I think they've had enough. Now, oh, they want. Oh, they're conceding because they want
okay.
to save time. So basically, in effect, TCM were too strong on lockdown there for them. TCM Rich doing the most of the work on the aggressive spawn sides there. Of course, the original flag was pulled by Jake, so that was very, very good and looking strong from TCM. Now, if you do remember, they managed to wipe out My Pressure, well, the former My Pressure lineup. There will be a big announcement going on tomorrow with what is happening with that organisation. But they managed to wipe them out. I think it was 5 or 6-0 on lockdown capture the flag. So it does show exactly how strong they are. So well done to TCM for that one. That does get them their first map of the best of 11 series now. Talking.
The get rel out of esports tweets are coming in.
Yeah, that's Rel.
Oh, that would be me. Sorry. We'll go on the top team. We'll go on board with the top team. It's just I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, I'm assuming they're going to restart this.
Jake with a 3-piece there, 2 with the PP90, 1 with the Magnum in his spawn. Wow, well played.
Well played, Jake. iBanterize invite me to chat and party, who is the person who boots people off most of their streams, so there you go, which is going to be fantastic. But yes, it is 2-1 now to Apex, so they are the strongest side at the moment. Let me just quickly go on busy because this strange child keeps inviting me. Or I could block him, Melmoth, that would be a good idea.
Yeah, for those of you wondering in the chat, this is of course the EU rule set, which is why we are seeing no extended mags and also C-Town S&D in the lineup. I think it's actually been removed from the American map set, so it might be a shock or a bit of a surprise for some of you American viewers. We do still have it in our rule set for Search and Destroy over here in Europe. We have removed it for the Capture the Flag due to its inconsistency with the spawns, but it is still a very solid S&D map, I think, to be honest. It's certainly produced some very exciting displays of Call of Duty in the past, and especially in this tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. C-Town Search and Destroy, Gooch, opinions on this as a Search and Destroy map, because it is one that is, I do really like. It's not so symmetrical like bootleg. There's a lot of ins and outs. There's of course the buildings which offer different levels of play. I don't know what you think about this map.
To be honest, as a Search and Destroy map, I like it. I'm glad it got removed as a Capture the Flag map. Like I was saying, the spawns were just too inconsistent. One time they'd be spawning back right when you've all pushed the right-hand side, and it's just, well, that shouldn't be happening. So, to be honest, I'm glad to still see it here as a Search and Destroy map. That does give a slight little deviation in the maps, as that does mean that now, of course, we will be seeing that one extra map. With us only having 4 Capture the Flag maps, it does limit us a little bit, so it's nice to add a little bit of C-Town into the mix.
Yep. So, I mean, coming up after this, it's going to be Dome Capture the Flag, the smallest competitive map on the game, where you usually see the highest action of gameplay. And you know what? I've changed my mind on this, because with Dome you would expect there to be so much more flags captured with it being so small, but I actually seem to be finding that it's less, because you know the stuns go out so early. The fact that it's so close quarters means that any flag pull is just completely demolished by the other team straight away. So it's actually sometimes the open maps that are better for capturing flags. I don't know what your opinion on that is.
I think, to be honest, the way that you can quickly stop the any sort of flag pull that's out in the open. I mean, you can literally spawn and get a stun or a nade directly onto any sort of flag routes, unless you're going to keep doubling back. Then it's just not going to happen. So of course that is why you see less and less flags get captured. Now, in true commentator fashion, this is probably going to turn around and bite us straight in the backside, as we will see some massive like 6-5 flag captured or something. But there we go.
It's always the way, Gooch. We could directly influence the outcome of this game. We could just say something's going to happen, and then the complete opposite will happen. But it's going to be
Yeah.
interesting. I think the point I'm trying to make though with Capture the Flag is just because you're good on one map of Capture the Flag, you could be nowhere near as good on the other one, which is why it does offer this variety of gameplay, and why it's good to incorporate as many different maps as possible into competitive play. Unfortunately for MW3, this is extremely restricted at the moment. Maybe for Black Ops 2 or future Call of Duties, that's going to be different, because in reality, if every single map could be played competitively, which unfortunately it can't due to spawns and things like that, it would just be so much better. It would be more enjoyable to watch, more enjoyable to play, and like I say, it would offer that diversity where teams could get excited about one particular map that they know they're strong on, and would know which particular maps to work. And I just think it'd be a lot better for the community in general, really.
Yes, it definitely would be. I mean, I'm quite interested to see how Black Ops 2 actually comes across. I mean, of course, the producers or the makers of the game have expressed their opinions on the competitive side, saying that they've been to MLGs and such and seen our scene in the past years. So it will be interesting to see how they manage to incorporate that into their new game. And I am quite excited. Now, I believe that somebody else is having technical issues now, which is why this game hasn't currently started. I'm just trying to count really quickly to 8, and I'm struggling slightly. But we have got Jake, Rich, Flux. We're missing Hammers in our lobby.
Interesting. Yeah. So we're not the only victims of this. You know what the interesting thing is, really, the Banter Eye guy that has host booted a lot of people in the past. He left his Facebook on open, and I know exactly his whole details and everything. And of course, I would never do anything with that. It's just I just find it strange that he would continue to be such a strange person. But there you go. It's a shame that such a minority, a select few people in the community just ruin it for everyone. There's no need for it, but it happens, and there's not much you can do about it. So hopefully we're going to be able to get Hammers back into the game as soon as possible. But yes, Gooch, we were doing our research. Like we said, there was a feedback thread about the commentators for past events. And what I think was actually good with me and you, Gucci, let's be completely honest, we both got a bit of stick. I felt that maybe it was more towards you than me, but we both got some stick and things to improve on. But rather than looking at that in a negative light, we are trying to improve ourselves as commentators, and we do want to get better for you guys and for ourselves, because we really enjoy doing this. So we've been researching, we've been looking at statistics over past events. We even got the Collapse proposal document so that we could see all of their past MLG achievements and things like that. It's actually interesting. I've got it up in front of me here. It's got everything from where they live, how long they've played COD for. So looking at this, it seems that Liar has played more than the other players. He's been playing since 2006, the other three since 2007. Liar is also the oldest of the four, which would make more sense. And looking at his past events, he's probably the most achieved. He does have the joint high... Oh, no, he doesn't actually have the joint highest earnings. That's actually between Dido and Revan, both earning roughly $25,000. And both with the most followers on Twitter, except Dido's has recently been boosted. Not by himself, I would like to add. But Liar is... I'd probably say Liar is the most achieved in that team.
I think, to be honest, I could agree with you there. He's definitely got the highest of LAN placements and also the online achievements to back him up with. Revan, of course, has placed a couple of seconds. He did actually win WCG New York. That was a LAN event that he did attend, which was, of course, in New York. Revan being from New York, so it wasn't exactly too far for him to go. Well, I say that, I'm not entirely sure on the grand geography scale how big New York is, so how far he would have to travel. But certainly Liar has placed second, third and second at his LAN events attended, which were MLG Dallas in 2011, MLG Orlando again in 2011. He placed third at Orlando, and then he also placed second at MLG Providence, which were the national championships.
Interestingly, particularly for Flux and... Is it Jake? Yeah, Flux and Jake. Apart from EGL4, they've never placed outside of top 8 for TCM. I'm just gonna literally run over the stats that we have for them here, whilst we're actually waiting for Hammers to get back into the game. But Rich, Jake, and Flux all teamed for ECL2 under the name Infinitus. They placed 5th, 6th. Jake and Flux at ECL3 under Flame Retardant placed 2nd. Then they had a little bit of a blunder at EGL4 when they fell into the 9th to 12th bracket. This was actually under Infused. And that was alongside Flux. It was Jake, Flux, Excellence, and
Gunchi.
Oh, yeah, good. Gunchi, there we go. Gunchi, 9th to 12th. And then most recently, EGL 5, Rich, Flux, Jake and Hammers placed 4th. I-Series, Rich, Hammers and Flux placed 2nd. So sorry to bore you with so many stats all at once there, but it's just to indicate the fact that TCM is such a strong team, Team Cooler Master, and more importantly, that they've been sticking together on and off for a long, long time now. This isn't a recently formed team. They know how each other play, going right back into early Black Ops. They've been good friends, as I understand it, and also played together a long, long time, which is definitely going to help team chemistry.
Well, yeah, definitely. I mean, with 2 players being together since ECL 2, which was, Rel, that was your first LAN event, wasn't it?
It certainly was, and
so that would have been, what, a year and a half ago?
It was, oh God, it was, I think it was February-ish time last year, don't quote me on that, but I remember I actually competed in that one. I sat down for the free-for-all and I got a nosebleed, and it was the most embarrassing thing ever. I was so nervous, I was so hot, and I just sat down, we were getting ready for the free-for-all, I was all excited, and I got a nosebleed, and it was humiliating. And I'm never going to live it down. But
that was before I got into this side of things, but...
I've done more embarrassing things at LAN, so that's
so if they've been competing together for that length of time, that is literally nearly 18 months now. Mm-hmm. So that shows their team chemistry. I mean, Flux has been to other events where Jake hasn't attended with him. However, at all the ECLs, EGLs, whichever you might want to refer to it as, they've always teamed together. So again, impressive stuff. Now, this best of 11 series is currently tied at no, it isn't tied, sorry. It is 2-1 to Apex.Collapse. They took the first map on overtime. That was Capture the Flag on bootleg. They then stormed the S&D, winning that 4-0 on Arcaden. And then they fell short against TCM on lockdown. Once Rich had that spawn lock on them when they were spawning over on the white prison side, they just had no chance of getting out there. So they did... concede the rest of that map. I believe that one of their players has actually got work, which is why they were trying to speed things up. However, in the process, Hammers has had some technical issues, so that speeded up process has just fell a little bit short.
Just checking out the Twitter. Remember, guys, if you guys want to tweet us with any questions or if you just want to follow us, it's at the VP Brothers for myself. And
of course it is at Gucci for myself, GOOCHHYY. Don't forget the tournament holders as well, at _WGL. I think that's quite simple. I don't need to spell that one out for you. And our tournament admin at Melmoth, he has got a 3 instead of an E and a 0 instead of an O. So go and check those guys out. But of course, myself and Rel mainly at Gucci and at the VP Brothers.
Oh no. Apex.Collapse liaison and player thinks I'm awful. I'm sorry. I've apologised for getting the scores wrong. It doesn't happen frequently, so it's just a little mistake. I wrote the time down wrong, and I'm sorry. But yeah, I'm so gutted about that, you know, Gooch. I need to stop dwelling on it anyway. Let's forget it. But yes, we're kind of just really trying to pad out at the moment, and like we said after reading the thread, not involve too many cringy things. But we are just really waiting on Hammers to get back online, and not quite sure what's happening at the moment. You can appreciate it is difficult once you get booted or once you do have connection issues to actually resolve it. So Search and Destroy C-Town, I mean, we saw the previous Search and Destroy in Arcade and go 4-0 in Apex's favour. I don't think we're going to see that again, but I do think that Apex clearly have the edge when it comes to Search and Destroy. I don't know if that's because they've practiced it more as a team, or, you know, it's just their style of play. I don't know if you think there's any standout players, particularly on either side, with regard to Search and Destroy.
From what I've seen following the players on Twitter and their own personal streams, they seem to play a lot of game battles. Now, with it being in America, I think they actually host more tournaments on GB for the American players than what we get over here in Europe. So I think, to be honest, part of it is because they sign up to these and they actually then play the tournaments on game battles, which is predominantly Search and Destroy based. So that would indicate they do get more Search and Destroy practice. I think their team roster itself is currently something like 55-0, so that clearly shows that they must be strong S&D players to even get close to that sort of record. So I would assume, to be honest, I've not really seen TCM, I follow all the the top players on Twitter, and I've not really seen TCM talk about playing much GBs. So I would, to be honest, perhaps take that as the slight indication that they might be better polished at Search and Destroy.
Yeah, Swizz has just told me as well, who is heavily involved with the admin of TCM. They are getting booted non-stop, so we're trying to resolve it as quick as we can. Just getting a little bit of feedback from other people, just trying to establish exactly what's going on. Shizzle has just updated me that 51-0 on GB. Wow,
Oh,
that's
51
impressive.
0, sorry. Shorted it by 4, guys.
But no, it stands to reason. You know, I've seen their actual tweets going out. They do actually stream a lot. If you guys want to follow the Apex bunch, I'm sure you can find them via Twitter. It's quite easy. It's usually just Apex _ and their gamer tag. But yeah, they do stream quite a lot, as I'm sure TCM do as well. So you can by all means watch them as they tear up the GB ladder.
Yeah, and if you're following them on Twitter, I think they always tweet out when they are actually playing as well. Dido's actually just posted, and Pro Team Collapse have also posted 60-0. So if Shizzle was lying, we do apologise. They might actually be 60-0 now, which is one hell of an impressive GB record.
That's even better than the VP domination one back in the... Well, we won't go into that. There's the politics. We'll forget about that. So yeah, I mean, let's just. I mean, we've waffled for quite a while here, Gooch.
I think we've splurted out every fact that we've got about the two sides. We're just going to play a quick trailer, guys, just to give our mouths and, of course, our brains a little rest. We'll come up with some better information for you guys when we get back, while we wait for Hammers to get back online. Once again, we do apologise about the wait that you are currently experiencing.
Hi there, I'm Stuart from the Warped Gaming League, and today I'm going to do a review for the Soundblaster Recon 3D Omega Wides. Comes in two parts. Firstly, the Recon 3D unit itself, which...
Well, here we go. Search and destroy Seatown. The second we actually said we were going to cut to an ad there, Gooch, he of course joins the game straight away. We should have thought about that earlier. We should have just said that from the word go, and it would have no doubt happened. So yes, this is round number 4 in the best of 11. Currently 2-1 to Apex. Let's start off on Apex and see what they can do on the offense.
Okay, so we are going to get on board with the offensive lineup. Who are we going to go on board with? I want to get on board with Liar, who's pushing straight up this left-hand side. It looks as if they have split off into two groups here. Revan and Liar going together, and then Parasite and Dido pushing over onto the other side. Liar just getting the better of Jake there as kills were exchanged. Jake originally took down Revan, but then Liar quick to chase up that kill and get things back on a 3-3 level playing surface.
And every kill so important in search and destroy. You know, obviously once you die you don't respawn. I'm sure everyone watching the stream is already aware of that, but that just takes out a quarter of the team. Parasite currently with the bomb, just keeping himself way in the open, trying to get a nice little shot over the wall, but can't quite find anyone. And his positioning here is absolutely brilliant. No one is going to be able to take him out with just his head poking over there. Liar manages to slay Hammers, and this round looks like it's going to be going in Apex's favour. Maybe not, as Flux takes out Liar. It's 2v2.
It is now 2v2. Flux and Rich to take out Parasite and Dido. The bomb hasn't been dropped. It is still with Parasite, the two players that pushed up this right side. Originally, Parasite going for the jump shot does manage to get the better of Rich. So now we are going to be seeing Flux defending and 1 versus 2. I think we should get on board with Flux, see where he is currently positioned. He has been watching that left-hand side where the Collapse players have just currently ran up, but they haven't presented themselves to Flux. He's trying to get a better angle and crawl round and get a look at that B bomb by the look of things, but now he's just opting to sit around that wall, looking over at that B bomb. Now that was where Parasite ventured onto earlier.
Yeah, well, Flux is going to pan around here a little bit here. I mean, I know that the two Apex players are around that B-bomb area, and Flux does too now that some bullets have been released. Parasite and Dido versus Flux. Is he going to be able to pull this off? Well, he's got to get a defuse as well, and there's not much time to do it all, and so unfortunate that he doesn't manage to make that kill, but nevertheless, the Parasite would have taken him out whether he made that kill or not.
Yeah, Parasite and both Dido were primarily positioned to get Flux as he came round the back of that B-bomb. So what are we doing? Well, did you want to stay on board to get both aspects of it, or did you just want to go attack? And
you know what? Let's just let's stay with TCM for now. let's just stay on with them because we'll see them on an attack, and we'll see where we want to go from there. Flux has just flung down though. His legs have been completely crushed. He no longer has any knees, as he's clearly stopped playing for a second. But he's just jumped over the edge and is currently holding position here, hoping that someone's going to run in front of him so that he doesn't have to do work.
None of his teammates are playing. There we go. Jake had timed out, had he? Or have they swapped teams?
Okay.
What's going on? We do apologise for this, guys. We are not entirely sure what is happening ourselves, so we can't tell you what is happening.
Yeah, it's difficult because obviously we can't hear what the players are talking about, but we can only assume that there's a few connection problems going on, which we'll try and get resolved as soon as possible. It is a shame, but we don't want to dwell on it too much and give anyone the satisfaction that they're craving. Well,
I'm not really sure what's going on.
Nope. Yeah, they're changing teams, so it's going to end. Let's just try and keep a track of the score. And so
it was 1-0 to Apex.
Yeah.
On this search and destroy here.
Yeah, it was 1-0 before we started experiencing any problems, so we'll go with that. We're going to see what happens here. We're getting some good feedback as well, Gooch, which is nice. It's a bit of a relief as well because I know we were both coming into this like, right, we actually came on Skype and we're having a chat earlier and we were like really preparing, like we need to do good this time, Gucci. So thanks to James Mountcastle as well for he's enjoying it. Keep up the commentating. Apparently, interestingly, the stream doesn't work in Germany. The YouTube live stream that doesn't work, that is.
Interesting.
Yeah, there's a few Twitterers are having a few problems, so there's not really much we can do about that other than apologise.
Well, they can't the stream to hear us apologising to him anyway, so...
Well, exactly, yeah, so I'm apologising to no one effectively. We are going to cut to a little break again. If you guys do want to check out... Yeah, exactly. Just while we try and sort everything out and get things back on track. If you guys do want to take advantage of that limited offer that's currently going on for these headsets that both myself and Gucci are sporting and commentating with, then by all means click the link in the top right corner of the page now on the WGL YouTube page, and you can follow the links and get yourself a bit of a discount on those because they are some awesome headsets. So we'll cut to a break and be back with you guys as soon as possible.
The Xbox, the Mac and the PC. It will work wirelessly with this headset, which is the Creative Tactic 3D Omega wireless. Been using this for about a month now, and I can honestly say this is the best headset I've used for gaming, especially across any platform. The headsets are really comfortable. They've got cushioned earpieces, you've got 50mm drivers, and the mic quality, which is also detachable, is very, very good. I highly recommend this product because you can use it for a multitude of things, whether it being gaming on a console, gaming on the PC, listening to music, watching movies, and the software that comes with it. You can basically tweak to, if you're watching a movie, you can increase vocals, or you can decrease bass or increase bass. You can literally do everything. Anyway, I hope you found this helpful. Stuart from the Warped Gaming League, signing out.
Well, guys, we still cannot bring you any Call of Duty footage. We do apologise. Now there is another player from the TCM lineup being picked off as we speak, so we do apologise for that. I think it's currently Rich experiencing internet difficulties. I have just tweeted out apologising to all of you whilst watching that ad break, if some of you may have flicked to Twitter to see what was going on. For those of you not following me, of course it is at Gucci, GOOCHHYY, and I think Rel tweeted mid-ad break as well. That's at the VP Brothers. He shares that with Momo. Mm-hmm. Now,
I was just going to really quickly say as well, I was just having a quick look at some tweets that are coming in, and Parasite's actually tweeted third person is allowed online. It's not allowed at EU land, so it don't really matter. So I'm assuming there's been a bit of a confrontation about using third person, but the problem at the moment is that Rich is having some connection issues, and kind of sucks.
Yeah, it does indeed. We do apologise for this, guys. Of course, I'm sure you are all aware this is beyond our control. If we could control it, we would take every measure possible to ensure this didn't happen and, of course, waste your time. We are, of course, going to do our very best to get you some more Call of Duty action this evening, but as it stands, I don't think that's going to be happening within the next 2 or so minutes. So unfortunately, you have got to put up with myself and Rel's beautiful faces talking through these lovely Soundblaster headsets towards you. Remember that if you are watching on the WGL YouTube page itself, you can click and go directly to the Creative Soundblaster website and get yourself a nice tasty 25% discount code off one of these bad boys. I fully recommend them as the best wireless headset I've ever used. My previous one was the Turtle Beach X41. That was my last wireless headset, and this is so much more superior with a nice little mix amp styled thing as well.
It is also. The actual range on these is quite far as well. I'd say through experience, I don't know the actual technical stats of it, but I'd say you can go about 20 meters and it's still effective at that range. But that's just from the way I've been using it. I don't know the official value that's given, which is really, really handy.
I've just received some information on Twitter. Basically, I think the same thing is happening to the TCM players as what is happening to me. Basically, if this one person that is causing their internet to malfunction, I think what he's basically doing is using Skype as his method of obtaining the IP addresses. Now, what I did is went and reset my router, which gives me a brand new IP because I'm on BT Infinity. That gives me a new IP address, and then I made a new Skype just for streaming in future. So, touch wood, I shouldn't be able to be hit offline yet again, but unfortunately the TCM lads, they might not be on BT Infinity, which won't change their IP when they reset, and does leave them vulnerable to, of course, this styled attack now that there is this method of obtaining IP addresses through Skype.
Yeah, I'm just trying to have a look at the actual YouTube feed, seeing what you guys are commenting, seeing what you guys are saying. Yep, just to clarify, all this is being played on the EU host. Currently Apex are 2-1 up, so they're doing really well on that, and they're actually 1-0 up in this search and destroy. I'm not sure what the end result of this is going to be, because obviously we can't continue at this rate, because we may end up having to play it offline or have to replay it or something. It is a real shame for both ourselves, the players, and you guys viewing it back at home, but it is probably just one person
who's set out there to ruin it all for everybody else. I know. We do apologise to all 860 of you that have stuck around for this. I really do appreciate that. Cloud7 Media, # keep Rel and Gooch in esports. That makes a nice change.
Yes!
It's nice to hear. It is nice to hear.
Yeah. Do you know, I actually like it. Basically what actually happened was it's like a verb or an adverb, then rel, then of esports or something like that. People have just formed some very interesting combinations. I think my favourite so far was rel molests esports.
I would just like to address the players that have perhaps not heard of me before. They are in the stream chat basically asking why my name is Gooch. Unfortunately, it is actually my last name. For those of you asking why, then I'm sure you already know what the nickname of a Gooch is. But if you're unsure, feel free to go and Google it. It'll tell you, but just make sure your parents aren't looking or something. But unfortunately, it is my last name as well, so that is why, just to clear up anything there for you guys. But I do tend to be known as Gucci, just to try and add a little bit of a twist to it, so it's not just Gooch, but of course Gooch is easy to say.
I felt so bad for you because originally when your gamertag was just Gooch on Xbox, it actually got banned as an offensive word. And it was like, I was devastated for you, I'll be honest, Gooch.
That's why I have to have GXXCH now, just to block out the O's so that Microsoft don't call it inappropriate. So just to clear that one up there, guys, for those of you that didn't know. However, on Twitter and Skype and stuff, I still have the O's in there, so it's GOOCHHYY for my Twitter. If you all want to go and follow me. I'm nearing 2,000, so I'm getting a little bit excited. So if you want to go and follow me, I would really appreciate it.
iDrama Productions, Rel, are you going to get drunk tonight? Give Rel some Amstel.
Best home over in esports. Come at me. Anyway, Rich, who is on my friends list, has just come back online onto Xbox. So we will see if he is able to get in here and, of course, stay on long enough. Now, if we do remember that it is currently 2-1 to Apex overall in the best of 11 series. They were victorious on the first two maps, which were Bootleg CTF and Arcade and S&D. TCM did win Lockdown, Capture the Flag, and then we were just one round into C-Town Search and Destroy before anything happened. So Apex currently lead at 1-0 on the Search and Destroy C-Town as it stands.
Get some beer down as well tonight. I'm not going to be consuming any alcoholic beverages. I don't want to build anyone's hopes up, but we all know how that ended at Reflex. No, if it was a good thing, I mean, any publicity is good publicity, right, Gooch? But
no, it's
not necessarily, not always. But you know what? That's all good. Relics, Gooch. Okay, well, someone has just joined the game. I can only assume that we're going to continue this from a 1-0 lead to Apex. That would be the fair thing to do.
I would have assumed that is what's happening, to be honest.
Well, let's see if we're going to start things up and hopefully not have any further problems.
We are just having some audio difficulties. If you can hear this, but it is a bit disjointed, just hit that refresh button. Yeah, just hit that refresh button, guys. It'll soon be sorted.
There we go. Yeah. Off we go, up and away, 1-0 to Apex. Let's start off watching TCM and see if they can bring this back to a level pegging against them. Thank you to you guys who are actually sticking with us. We've dropped down to 787 viewers, but it's still a heck of a lot of people watching the stream, and thanks for your patience.
Yes, it is, of course, you guys at home who we are all doing this for. So we are going to get on board with Apex once again, get on the inner circle side, as we will be seeing them 1-0 up, and they are now going on the defensive. I'm currently on board with Revan, who's decided to head glitch this box. Now, I have just heard a sniper fired across the map as well. Now, it's not looking like Revan's actually going to do much movement, so I think we should go on board with somebody who's going to push in a little bit. I was going to say Liar himself, but he has just been taken down by Rich, and Revan has spotted somebody in the middle now, as we have defaulted back onto him, and he's now just going to watch that right-hand side, throw a stun down there, just make sure nobody is pushing around him. So that's smart play from Revan. He's just going to keep flicking back middle and to the right-hand side and getting that spot in library and just watch that top ladder building. But now I think we should get away from him. In fact, they're all playing very defensively indeed. So Dido now taking out Flux.
They're doing what they need to do. They're playing it, you know, it is a defensive round. They need to defend the bombs, and they're doing just that. I actually want to see what Dido's going to do here. I did hear a sniper rifle. It is Hammers who's going to be using that, and I'm getting less and less surprised by this. It seems to be a tactic that a lot of people are beginning to adopt in Search and Destroy. You will no doubt see no more than one sniper rifle if it is used at all by a team, because essentially once it's, you know, once you've got that first kill, it's pretty useless. You're trying to kill people close and up close.
But now Dido, currently left 1 versus 2, has already taken out one player, and that bomb is down. 30 seconds left on that clock. He has got that bomb to defuse as well. He has just gone for the fake defuse, turning away and looking for one of the TCM players to come flying at him. 22 seconds left. It's going to be one hell of a clutch, but no, he has been taken down in the back by Hammers. So that is going to level things up now. That is going to be 1-1 total score.
Again, you know, we've not had any confirmation from the teams if they're going to be playing it this way, but I can only assume that's what they're going to be doing. 1-1, so, you know, for those of you guys who are just joining the stream now, as we have had a little bit of a boost in viewers now that we're back up and running, the previous two maps, it currently stands at 2-1 in Apex's favour in this best of 11 series. This is a $3,000 tournament. The losers here are actually going to walk away with $1,000, the winners $2,000. So you know what, you could get absolutely hammered here, just completely destroyed, and your team's still walking away with $1,000.
Yeah, I know, it's fantastic, but as it stands, I think both teams would definitely want that extra 1,000 to their name. A $3,000 final to what has been a fantastic tournament overall is certainly one good prize. Now, I am currently on board with Revan, who's attempting to push up this left-hand side.
Oh, the grenade takes out Dido. Revan's actually up top here. A little bit of pre-fire there. I don't know if he just got a bit spooked by one of his own teammates, but nevertheless he has backtracked and spotted someone. He's unable to make the kill. Accuracy not the greatest there, and he's left himself in a difficult position here because he doesn't have support round the back from his teammates, so he is very, very vulnerable.
He has just seen that player bottom market, or at least I would have thought so. Yeah, it's looking like he's gone to watch the back just to make sure anyway. He's very aware that that player will be around him. I'm sure he'll take a hard aim in as he does manage to get the better of Hammers there. Great awareness from Revan as he did push in and make that kill, but Parasite has dropped the bomb across the other side of the map. That was due to a kill from Flux.
Well, let's see what Revan can do. I'm just going to watch him. He's just playing it very, very slowly, actually. He has moved up quite far alongside his teammates. And this is one thing I really like about the Apex style of play. They do seem to stick together as a group so that if one does go down, the other one is there to pick up that kill, which would usually statistically mean that they will always win the round. It seems to be working for them so far, even though they've just lost the previous round, but in general it seems to be working for them. Lyra and Revan have converged on this bomb now, and I don't know if Jake and Flux know it went down there. I don't think they did, because they haven't challenged that at all. So we're going to see a very slow advance from Revan and Lyra up towards B. Revan gets the kill against Flux, leaving Jake all on his own.
Yeah, he's now just going to throw a grenade at the back, make sure there isn't anybody on that head glitch. That bomb is going down. Jake does manage to take out Lyra. That bomb is just sat there. I'm sure that Jake will know about that. 10 seconds left. Revan is going to have to chase the kill. He's not going to have time to plant the bomb, so he needs to be looking to make that kill. Does see him at the back, but Jake manages to get the better of him. Nice 1v2 there from Jake, just to extend the lead now. 2-0 on this replay, but that does make it 2-1 overall.
Absolutely, so TCM are halfway there, and if they do win this, it will bring the overall scoreline to 2-2. This is a best of 11 series. It's a WGL Soundblaster PROAM tournament, and these are the two finalists here out of the hand-selected 6 teams and the 2 qualifiers. This is what remains arguably 2 of the strongest teams in the world at the moment. I'm not going to say that outright because it's probably not the case, but let's watch Jake and see what's going to happen and see what he can do.
Yeah, he is providing some support to Flux there, as they do look as if they're opting for this left-hand side push. Now, a very popular push would, of course, be the B option. You have got that long, hard road to aim at, but they're going for a slightly different tactic, which hasn't really paid off for Jake there early on. He has been Semtex from Lyra from that back left area. That came in a straight line at him as well, so that meant that Lyra was there. Flux with the bomb was up that side as well. Rich going to manage to take down Lyra. So that does level things up 3 apiece. Revan, Dido and Parasite versus Rich, Flux and Hammers.
Excuse me, yeah, and we're seeing a very different search and destroy here to what we saw on Arcade, excuse me, on Arcaden, which was 4-0 to Apex. So very, very one-sided. I've got something at the back of my throat here. Very, very one-sided. But TCM seems to be pulling out all the stops to get back into this. I'm just going to very quickly grab a drink of water.
Okay, so now we are leveled up once again, Revan and Parasite, but now just Flux left alive as his team are currently winning 2-1. Has been shot in the back by Revan, so that levels things up once again at 2-2. So this is a much more convincing search and destroy from TCM. Now I wonder if the fact that C-Town S&D doesn't feature in the American rule set as to whether that's playing a part.
It's a good point, actually. It's not one that will be routinely practiced by the Apex team. Let's see what Apex can do, though, because I want to see what's going on for the Apex attack. And I want to watch Parasite, because I don't think we've given too much coverage so far, and it's actually the bomb carrier switching from the SMG to the ACR as he decides to take this high up position, actually jumping down here and switching right round, clinging to the wall, just making sure that no one's going to be able to sneak round his back. And once again, I've just brought the start menu up. You can see, generally speaking, the team are moving up as a unit. They've got one person covering the back to prevent any flanks, so it is a very, very organised Apex.
Yeah, Parasite there did just see somebody but not managed to get the shot off, so just opted to dive behind the pillars and hope for the support of his teammates, which did give him some cover fire and managed to get away, but still currently tied at 4 apiece. 4 versus 4 in this round. But no, Rich, just laying the melons there, does manage to take out Parasite, and that is currently bombed down. But will the TCM boys know about that? Parasite does actually tend to take the bomb virtually every round though. But now Liar 1 versus 4 against TCM, currently tied 2 apiece. So this would be to take the lead and go into potentially the final round of this search and destroy. So Liar has got a huge task to do. Does manage to take out Hammers first of all, so that has been kick-started now. Left 1 versus 3.
1 versus 4 in total on a European host is a big feat for any American player. But if there's someone that's going to be able to pull it off, it could be Liar. He has actually spotted someone. Oh, he's going to have to go for this kill. It was a really hard shot to make, but he knows with time running out that he's got to take his chances here. Unfortunately, it doesn't pay off, but the odds were so heavily weighted against him there. I don't think anyone was expecting him to be able to win that round.
No, the odds were stacked against him there. I would have gone with perhaps something like 1 to 100 on him doing that. No, 100 to 1, sorry, I do apologise. But now TCM 3-2 in the lead, and they are going in on attack. Currently the attacks, they have won an attack in the past on this map against Apex, so it can be done. Can they do it again? I'm going to get on board with Flux, who's opted to rush straight into the middle with that PP90, a very aggressive push early on in the search and destroy, but nobody met him in the middle, so now he is opting for this right-hand road as 3 of the players descend on that right road while 1 of them just lags back, but all 4 are around that middle right road area now, so heavily stacked for this right-hand side push.
Yeah, it's really interesting actually watching Flux play, the way that he actually cancels his run as he moves around every nook and cranny. It just allows him to get that quicker response time if he does need to unleash some bullets onto the enemy. He has been spotted and will wisely choose not to challenge that with a gun that does not have as good range as an ACR. He is trying to sneak around into position though here, and with Hammers taking out Dido, now would be a prime time to do so.
Yeah, he's pushing up onto that B-bomb, just edging around the corner, then diving back, perhaps knows that he might get that millisecond advantage with it being the EU host, meaning that he can just opt back. It's interesting how you pointed out his run cancellation. Oh, getting the better of Parasite there, who was lay in the well. Now we are going to see Liar once again 1 versus 4. Let's get on board with him as he is currently in library, knows that they are all over that B side. Does take out Flux. I would think that the bomb was going down as well. Chucking a nade over, but gets taken down by Hammers in the back once again. So now that was 4-2 search and destroy on C-Town, and that does level things up. 2 maps apiece here in this best of 11.
Yep, and you are right, it was 4-2. We've got to remember before the disconnection that Apex did actually have 1 round to their name. So after being 2-0 down, TCM have got right back into this series. We said do not rule them out, and they are showing themselves to be a really strong team. I mean, the capture the flag lockdown, Apex effectively gave up on it, albeit due to the time constraints of a very what is looking like a very long best of 11 series. Apex just knew that they couldn't beat them when they'd lost those 3 flags. They were on the bad side, but CTF Dome, this is a really interesting map to actually play, and I feel it's the one which involves the most skill in a way. There's a lot of spawn manipulation on this map, and if you can get a team in a spawn trap, then you can absolutely dominate them.
So we are going to go on board with TCM first of all. Now remember that TCM have not lost a matchup yet in this tournament, so can they go all the way and win that $2,000 undefeated? This remains to be seen. It's currently tied 2 apiece here, and Jake is opting to push straight out through that middle, manages to take down Dido and throws a Semtex over at that right hand side. So it was the first blood to TCM, and now they are heavily advancing onto the enemy spawn.
But like I've said, even Gooch, time and time again, Jake just makes this huge burst straight away every single time, and he will pick up those kills. He's a bit of a game changer, really. Jake, his style of play is so aggressive that it can make or break the team sometimes, I feel.
Those stuns have got to fly over that we were talking about earlier on this map. Like, as soon as you spawn, you can get a stun straight over into the flag carrier's path. But Dido and Lyre have taken down Jake and Hammers. Rich is currently miles away in the spawn. The other player is left mid-map. I think that's going to be a flag catcher now. Yeah, Rich wasn't able to land any shots. Flux has just pushed down but been taken out by Lyre. And now Apex.Collapse lead early on in this matchup. In under a minute there, they did manage to capture that first flag here in the 5th map of the best of 11 series, currently tied 2 apiece, so whoever wins this map will retain the lead.
Yeah, great start for Apex. It was actually really unfortunate for Rich when he tried to get that Semtex out. It actually got caught on one of the shards of glass in one of the windows. Nevertheless, TCM are going to try and get the lead here. We've said that they were 2-0 down. Would they be able to win 3 back-to-back maps against Apex.Collapse? We'll have to just wait and see. But it's going to be very, very difficult for them now, as they face, the challenge of going up against one of the strongest American teams with a 1 flag deficit.
Yeah, there has actually been a call lately that Collapse are actually the strongest American team, perhaps because of the amount that I think the time that they put in against their counterparts on the American servers. I think, to be honest, they are actually getting better and better by the day. I mean, I'm always watching on Twitter and watching their streams that they are practicing heavily all the time. I don't think they'll be able to make EGL 7 though, but I think they will be looking at coming over to Europe for some future LAN events. But now TCM are making a big push into the Collapse spawn.
Oh, they're trying to do what they can, and they know that they need to get at least 1 flag back on this side just to bring things back to a level score. Jake comes head-to-head with Lyre and gets the better of him as Flux does drop someone too, but Parasite is ready to answer back and make that kill. And as these kills are exchanged, we just see TCM trying to get further and further up into that spawn of Apex. And you know what? They are slowly getting closer and closer, but every single time Apex just seem to be able to hold it off.
Yeah, I mean, they are pushing ever so close to that dome every time now, but not actually managing to get that essential kill that will enable the flag pull right at the end there. It's always either Lyre or Dido really just there waiting to actually defend that flag. There was Revan with the 2-piece Parasite, and now Hammers is going to have to go for that essential spawn block. Is that Nate going to do enough? One of his players has spawned out and spawned closer to the flag, so there you are seeing one of those key spawn manipulation points from Hammers there. Just chuck a grenade onto that spot, will prevent your teammates spawning there.
Yeah, it's like we were saying before, and it's actually something that I think came about from watching Optic play. Jake picking up the 2-piece there against Lyre and Parasite. I mean, it first came to my knowledge when I actually watched Optic play on one of these streams, which was the former Apex. The way they actually did that just allowed them to get so far ahead of their opponents that they played on stream, and a lot of teams have adopted that style of play. Flux, very, very sneaky, gets the kill against Parasite, leaving the Apex flag wide open. Rich makes the kill. Unfortunately for Apex, Reverend was there to actually prevent that going any further, but TCM need to continue this aggression, and Jake and Rich are doing a fantastic job as 3 go down against Apex. Oh, Lyre just in time to make that kill.
That was so unfortunate there for TCM. I was holding the scoreboard up and Parasite was last alive. As soon as he dropped, Lyre spawned. He spawned in the dome, which was the prime place. TCM, of course, pushing both sides did mean that they would spawn in that dome area right on the flag and was in prime place to actually return that flag. So that's unfortunate there for TCM. A little bit lucky perhaps for the Apex.Collapse lineup that the TCM pushed both sides, meaning that they would inevitably spawn in that dome. But now Dido doing work, taking out Hammers, and Rich are going to be pushing in, but 1-0 up on the bad side of dome as well. They are actually on where TCM is considered the better side of them too on this map. So they will be very pleased with their first half performance.
Yeah, I mean, again, just trying to have a look at the stream, see what's going on, and a few involve you guys. Pikachu Rock thinks, oh god, no, the flag has actually been run. Parasite is trying to get there, and the time is running out, but I think he's actually going to make this. There we go. It's going to be 2-0 now to Apex on the first round. But as I was saying, Pikachu Rocks thinks Envy are better than Optic and Optic are better than Apex. Interestingly, Envy were actually in this tournament. They got defeated by MYP 3-0, and as a result of that decided to drop out. They didn't actually want to play in it anymore. It's a little bit controversial, which actually allowed Collapse to enter it, and since then Collapse have just gone on to absolutely dominate and make it all the way to the final. So
they have done very well. Yeah, they have done very well for themselves. Now we are going to get on board with that Apex lineup, currently winning 2-0 in this matchup. But 2-2 is the map count tied overall. Of course, they did win the first 2 maps, Bootleg and Arcaden, and then the second 2 went to TCM. But now Revan on the middle head glitch, managing to take down Hammers, going for another player, but does get taken down by Flux. The headshot will, of course, played the part there. Revan on that head glitch table, but now Dido defending his flag, jumps the other side of the pillar, takes down Rich as he was pushing that front door. So now the role rotation will be implemented between the two. Dido just lagging back just to defend that flag, but then pushing out when his teammates spawn. Excellent play of the rotation, but a momentary flag pull did get returned by TCM.
Revan trying to get the wall bang, unable to do so, and does actually go down to the frag of Rich. It was actually something I noticed. TCM seemed to favour the frags over the Semtexes, which is not something that a lot of teams usually do. I'm not saying that's the case for all of the TCM players, but I certainly saw it on at least 2 of them. I'm going to watch Lyre, though, do a bit of defensive work here in this alley. This position that Lyre is in, it's actually advanced a little bit further up than I thought, but when you sit back in that alley with an ACR, it's so difficult for SMGs to push in through loading bay.
Yeah, Flux there was just sat middle as Lyre pushed out. He did manage to take him out in the back. He was sat on that platform in that ever such sneaky corner there again, but Revan knew that this time. He did manage to take him out, and now they are pushing down this left-hand side, manipulating the spawns, which means that they will be on that right-hand side or in the flag itself, as they are looking to extend their current flag capture lead of 2-0. They are looking to advance in and get another flag. Revan now just retreating.
And you know what, they could just sit back, they could just defend if they wanted and try and hold this for 3 minutes, and even if they lost the flag they would still be in the lead. You know, even if they lost 2 it would go to overtime and they could still win. So Apex have a big advantage. TCM just need to be pulling out all the stops if they want a chance here, and they need to be taking some risks. You know, they need to be trying a chance. Just watching Revan there, who almost had a massive 3-piece, but he wisely chose not to go for it. And this is the teamwork element of Call of Duty that I really like. He could have been greedy there. He could have just tried to get the kills, you know, for a nice montage clip or for something. But no, he chose not to, and he just chose to get that flag home. Got his priorities right.
That was so smart there from Revan. Unselfish play there, selfless play for the team. He actually implemented there. He could have got the 3-piece, like you say, Rel, but alternatively he could have actually been dropped by that last player, but he opted just to run away, use the support of his teammates. Good communication between the 3 of them that were actually around there for that flag pull, and they have extended their lead to 3-0 now, and with only 2 minutes 15 seconds left on that clock, it's not looking good for TCM on this match.
Absolutely not. Something I did just want to mention in fact, you know what, I'll talk about that later when we hit the interlude between maps. We've got 2 minutes left in this one, and there has been a team kill there for TCM, which isn't great because another 2 of them have just gone down to Revan and Lyre, and we could be seeing another flag capture here. You know what, I hate ruling teams out too early, but I can't see TCM winning this now.
No, Revan going in once again. He's already taken out Rich, gone for the Magnum switch, goes for the second, doesn't manage to get so. He got took down by Jake's grenade, but Dido taking down Flux and Jake. Parasite pushing down this left-hand side, and that is 4 down there for TCM, as they will be off the spawn. They have both pushed each way, so they know that they will be spawning in the dome. As we did see previously, as soon as you push both spawns, they will spawn straight on that flag.
You know what, despite the fact that they are actually beating one of the top EU teams at the moment and have surpassed their NA counterparts that have fallen earlier on in this tournament, so much credit needs to be given to them, not just for achieving that, but also doing this all on a European host. And that is, you know, a significant difference, and it really does need to be noted because I played on American hosts, and believe me, it is difficult, so I can imagine they're facing the same problems.
Well, it's exactly as when a European team plays the Icons tournaments that get hosted generally on a Saturday evening. You will experience probably the same rough connection. However, we do have a dedicated host, and it is one of the best connections that you can buy in Europe. So we are giving them the best connection that they can actually have. But now that flag currently sat in limbo, Parasite manages to go in and get the return. They are currently winning 4-0 here on this dome, which will extend their lead of 3-2 overall on the maps in this best of 11, which does mean that it is first to 6 if my mathematics is correct. Yeah, that is right. So they are halfway there now with this win.
Well, that's going to be it, yeah. I'm pretty sure we can decisively say that TCM cannot win this game now. A big win for Apex. TCM unable to actually secure a single flag there on Capture the Flag Dome. I think Dome is one of those maps that he's practiced a lot more than others. I don't know if you agree with that. That's a bit of a bold statement to make, but it just seems to be one of those easy maps that teams just play. It sounds a bit of a stupid thing to say. But
I think, to be honest now, with there only being 4 capture the flag maps, it's very rare that a map set won't get complete. But I understand your point. I mean, every time I sort of go into a scrim, it's either Dome or Arcade and capture the flag started first generally. So I understand why you made that statement.
Well, nevertheless, we're going to be going on to Search and Destroy Carbon next. We are going to be seeing maps repeated. Let me just have a look down the list. If it goes to round number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, which will be Capture the Flag bootleg. 10 is the...
It's the last 3 are repeated from the first.
The last 3 are repeated, and it's going to be interesting if it does reach that stage, because we'll be able to gauge how well the teams will do based off the previous attempts earlier on in this Best of 11 series. Let's go on board with the top team. It is a defend. I know we usually stick to the attacking side.
We'll go defend and attack, give a bit of a range here, as it is the final after all. I'm currently on board with Jake, who's opting to push up this left-hand side and has seen a player early on. Going to go for a stun through that top window with the Semtex. Is it going to land? It did land, but not got anything off it. He's going to have to blow up that barrel. Has revealed his position whilst doing so, though, but he has ensured that he will be a little bit safer.
Oh, and Jake has spotted someone. He is going to make the kill. It was a difficult shot to make and a little bit risky, because he knew if he didn't make it, then, you know, Apex would be all over him like locusts. They would just swarm him and manage to take him out, because as soon as you reveal your position on Search and Destroy, the other team are just going to be so aware of it and take you out. Rich taking out Parasite means Revan 1 versus 2. Let's see what Revan can do. Oh, no. Let's stay on board with TCM, sorry, because we want to see what they can do on an attack.
Rich getting 3 kills there in literally about 20 seconds to ensure that that first round of Search and Destroy was defended correctly from TCM. We will stick on board with them on the attack, see how they can do there, see if they can extend that lead to 2-0 and tie the series up. Apex currently leading 3 maps to 2 here. So always seem to default to Jake, so I want to get on board with Hammers first of all. It's looking like they're all actually using the ACR.
And this is what I said before, Gooch. I'm just having a quick flick through. Yep, all using ACR. It's something that I've seen TCM do time and time again. We didn't see it earlier on in this series, but maybe it's just because it's Search and Destroy. Maybe it's because it's this map, which does allow for these long ranges. Of course, an assault rifle would benefit it. But if they're all using ACRs, you're generally going to see slower play from them, which is interesting considering that they are on the attack.
See, now you say that, however, the TCM lineup always seems to use the ACR with extreme conditioning, whereas on Search and Destroy, if you see a ACR player, you generally do see sleight of hand or indeed scavenger nowadays. Now, Hammers knows that there is one in that back middle area, hasn't been able to get him yet, but Jake dropping Dido in the middle map. Revan and Parasite left alive against Jake, Hammers and Flux. Now, ordinarily, you may see this later on in the Search and Destroys, you will see 3 ARs and then 1 SMG in the form of Flux. So it'll be interesting to see if they deviate. That's normally when they are actually going for an all-out rush. However, like you say, Ral, they are opting for a bit of a slower gameplay at the minute.
I'm just flicking through them, seeing where we've got the most movement. Jake and Hammers standing steady as Flux. Let's see what's going on with Flux as he's just crawling around the map. Oh, dearie me, and that car is on fire. He needs to get away. Oh, and he's managed to set up quite nicely behind these barrels. I'm watching Flux here, who managed to escape that van, which has just exploded now, and Flux has got a little bit spooked, tried to challenge something. I don't think he knows if anyone's there, so he just decided to run away. And I think TCM are getting a little bit panicky here, and they just need to calm down a bit and just focus on the job at hand.
Yeah, they are, of course, 3 versus 2, so they have got the upper hand. Revan, who previously got 30 kills on the Capture the Flag Dome. I don't even think we really acknowledged that before, so our apologies there. It was huge play from Revan, but to be honest, all of the Apex lineup played their part in that, which did mean that they managed to go 3-2 overall, winning the second Capture the Flag of their Best of 11 series.
The bomb has gone down. Oh no, it Flux! Oh my goodness, and that is a little bit embarrassing, but also quite unfortunate.
Oh, Parasite. He's gone in now. We are going to see Jake. Oh, it's 1 versus 3. Liar was alive at the bottom of the leaderboard.
Yeah, there are quite a few people in this game, so we do miss that. Apologies. But it is going to get diffused now. Parasite, wow. Brilliant play to actually take out 2 of TCM there.
That meant that they planted that bomb when it was 3 versus 3.
Yep, Well, you know, it's interesting.
That, guys. As soon as you press back, you just automatically think the players that you see are the only ones alive. I always seem to forget. We have got, of course, a dedicated host, a streamer, myself and Rel in here as well, and also TCM have got their personal manager, coach, come best friend, I assume, in the form of Swizz. Does a great job over there for the boys at TCM, but he is taking up that one extra player in our lobby. Jake again opting for that nade over the top. Now we watched Jake. Oh, I'm on the wrong team. We should be switching over. I do apologise once again. I'm going to get on board with Revan for the Apex.Collapse lineup.
Yeah, Revan here. Moved into this familiar position with the MP7, which you can almost use an AR sometimes if you can just hold it steady. It has incredibly long range for an SMG and still retains quite a powerful shot. Revan knows that someone's going to be in that boiler room around the B-bomb area. Parasite has just taken out Flux though, which opens up a little bit of opportunity down this left-hand side, and Revan is no doubt going to take advantage of that. He cannot spot anyone in there, and we're probably going to see him move into that room very, very soon.
Yeah, as soon as he ran down them steps, I think he's trying to actually bait out anyone there by just running away, dodging back up, and seeing if anybody comes to challenge. But now Revan and Parasite both getting kills there. Revan heard that shots were being fired at his teammate from across the map, just instantly span around, got that MP7 shot on, and managed to pick up the kill. So that was an uncontested round there. Parasite, Revan, Dido, and Laya all still left alive at the end of the round for the Apex.Collapse lineup. So that does mean that now they are 2-1 in the lead on the Search and Destroy here on Carbon. If they were to win this map, that would make them go 4-2 in the lead overall on this best of 11 map series. Now I'm going to flick off from Revan, get on board with Laya as he has pushed into that B-bomb, see how he can defend this boiler room.
Well, Laya's in there. Wisely chooses not to shoot Revan. I thought he was going to do it by accident there. Bit of pre-fire. Doesn't take anyone out, but Revan has managed to take down Jake. It is actually Rich against 4. It's Rich and Flux against 4. We need to remember to keep checking the whole leaderboard. Make that 1 versus 4 now.
Revan is having such a good game. Instantly, Flux has just peeked out of a little hole there to take out Laya. I've gone on board with him now, see how he can complete this 1 versus 4. He's left alive against Parasite, Revan and Dido. Revan previously getting 3 kills in this round. He will be searching for that ace. He rushed straight down that left-hand side, took out one, rushed straight into the middle building, took out another, and then a third came running at him, but now it is all on the Flux's shoulders.
Well, it's going to be incredibly difficult for him, and I can see Collapse actually taking Apex.Collapse taking this. I mean, they know his exact location as well, so they've just got to play this slow and not take any big risks, and they should be fairly secure. Just run that time down.
Yeah, 1 minute 11 left on that clock is a huge time to have to run down. But Parasite, I think, to be honest, the way that the Apex.Collapse lineup actually positioned themselves there, Flux was stuck between a rock and a hard place. Had already taken out one in the 1 versus 4, but now Apex have managed to extend their lead to 3-1 here on Carbon Search and Destroy.
Well, they're just inches away to making this 4-2 in this best of 11 series. Which is going to bring them so close to that $2,000. You can call it best of 11, you can call it first to 6, but if Apex actually win this round, they just need to win 2 more rounds, whereas...
I want to go on board with Rich, see how he can defend this. Laya has already taken down Flux, but now Rich managing to get the better of Laya as he pushed in there. Kills being exchanged between the two sides. Jake going huge with the 2-piece, taking out Parasite and Dido with that quick reaction knife. So now Revan last alive against Jake and Rich. Currently on board with Rich, who's watching this right-hand side.
Yeah, we'll watch Rich, but do remember the bomb is just below Jake. Jake will have no doubt alerted Rich to that fact, so they know where the bomb is, and they should be able to win this round. They're up against Revan, but let's not forget Revan has been playing absolutely brilliantly throughout this Search and Destroy. He's currently on 7-1 after just 4 rounds of gameplay have passed. So if he's able to maintain his form, then there is always that chance he can pull this off.
I'd like to point out as well, Revan 7 and, well, now 2, but straight after the 31 kills he dropped on Dome with 11 assists as well, I'd like to add. So it's going to be a huge feat for TCM to shut him down. I think, to be honest, the way he's playing, to shut down him and Parasite, who is potentially the next best player on the lineup so far, I think, to be honest, they can run away with this. Now, we are just going to stay on board with TCM for the attack. And get on board with We'll go with Flux, who's opted for that SMG now. He has got that PP90 whilst his teammates have still got the ACRs out. But Revan, once again, going huge. He's taken out Hammers. And
Flux.
Parasite has taken down Jake.
Yeah, I actually switched over to Flux then to see what was going on down that left-hand side as he made a big push and jumped onto them yellow bollards, but didn't find anyone, because usually you would see someone around this area that Flux is in now, but Apex doing something interesting here. It is currently 2 versus 2, things fairly even, and remember Apex could close this off here and now, or we could be seeing it brought back to 3-3. Flux managed to take out Parasite, which means it is 2 versus 1. Will Liar be able to pull this off? He's currently bottom fragging for his team.
Should we switch and get on board with Liar, see what he can do? I think that might be best. He is currently coming up behind Flux. Flux hasn't seen him. Liar is just going to edge ever so close around the back of him now as they attempt to go for that A-bomb. He has managed to get the better of Flux there. Shots exchanged between the two. Was weak, and Rich manages to capitalise on his weakness and tie things up 3-3 here. Carbon Search and Destroy, final round of this Search and Destroy. Rich was planting when Flux died. Liar came back for the challenge, but then Rich got the better of him there. So now 3-3, the final round. Parasite 7-3, Revan 8-3 for Apex, 7-3 for Rich, 5-4 for Jake, the top 2 fraggers on each team. But now, are we going to go for the attack or the defend, Ralph?
We'll watch Apex. We've seen TCM a few times now, but I just want to say this one round of Search and Destroy is the difference between it being 4-2 to Apex or 3-3 in this best of 11. This is such a crucial and big round. I do just want to say a big thank you to a lot of mature people who are actually joining the stream and just supporting WGL and thanking them for actually putting this on, as there is always the conflict that appears in these streams between the American and European communities. So it's nice that you guys appreciate it and look at it from a nice perspective, that we are just gamers, we are just enjoying this. So let's see what's going to happen here in this free tournament, which has actually got a big prize pot.
Parasite now currently topping his kill leaderboard with 9 kills. I've been on board with Revan for the whole time. I'm not entirely sure who the streamer has been on board with. Yes, Revan, thank you. Yeah, that's good that we managed to line that up. But now Parasite, Revan and Liar left alive against Rich and Hammers. As Rel has already stated, this is the difference between tying in the maps or Apex extending their lead, and they are on defense with the man advantage as well, so it is a huge mountain for Rich and Hammers to climb. Hammers currently not having the best of games on 1-6.
Yeah, I mean, if we actually look at the players that are left alive, Parasite and Revan combined have 17 kills, which is absolutely phenomenal. Some big work from both of them on this Search and Destroy, and they are both still left alive. So the 2 people that have been performing excellently for Apex are still in this game. Rich and Hammers, though, are the only ones left, but Rich has managed to take out Parasite. This is 2v2 and incredibly close with just less than a minute left on the clock.
Yeah, 50 seconds left on that clock now. I am still on board with Revan, who's just securing the spawn, shall we say. Revan, of course, on 8 kills. Rich on 8 kills as well for the TCM lineup. Let's move over to the attacking team, see how they can play this. Rich looking like he wants to move over to the A-bomb. We know it's clear, but of course the TCM lineup don't. There is a 35-second stream delay, I think, so no stream watching can be happening, but Hammers has managed to get the better of Revan as he was sat there defending that spawn. Liar has got to do a 1 versus 2 now as that bomb's going down. I say we flick back over, see how Liar can do this. He edges it into that middle building. That is exactly where Hammers was previously. Knows that Rich has just planted that bomb, is moving his way over, seeing if he can get any bullet dragged there, perhaps knowing there might be one on the bomb, getting third person, which is allowed in online tournaments. Liar takes down Rich, and now it is Liar 1 versus 1 against Hammers.
This is big. It all comes down to this final kill, which could mean the difference between $1,000. Is Liar going to be able to pull this off? The stun does go over. He's praying that this connects now. No, it does not, but he's going to go straight for this defuse anyway, and the time is ticking. My goodness, this is going to be incredibly close. His Hammer's going to get there in time. Yes, he is. Wow. That could have gone either way. And you know what? I'm just thinking, could he have just crouched? Oh, no, he would have gone down anyway. Hammers in the nick of time equalises things 3-3. We're in for a long night, ladies and gentlemen, as TCM bring this back. Even Stevens. And I do just want to say a few people were criticising what is dubbed as camping that was going on there. But let's face it, guys, with $2,000 riding on the line, I'm pretty sure you would be happy to sit in a corner if it would guarantee you the win.
Almost definitely, to be honest. Revan played that potentially smart. He was watching a cut-off point around the back, but then Hammers did manage to get the better of him, and now we are moving on to capture the flag on Arcaden. Currently tied at 3 apiece in this best of 11 series, so both teams halfway there, got halfway to go.
What's actually interesting looking at the games that have taken place so far is 2 of the search and destroys went in, we're going to go top team to Mel. 2 of the teams, 2 of the search and destroys went in TCM's favour, and 2 of the capture the flags went into Apex. So maybe they are a stronger objective team, shall we say? I won't want to say that decisively.
That would be a broad statement, but now I am on board with Jake, who's just been taken down by Liar, defaulted to Rich, who's been taken down by Dido, so that is going to leave me on board with Flux, who is currently defending that flag with that SMG, as his teammates did die around him, so he does manage to get the better of Parasite as he pushed into that side bar.
Yep. Flux is actually just holding back on his flag now, but he's been taken from the rear. Liar has managed to make the kill and pulled the flag. Revan is also there with support, but Rich is doing what he can. There's been some big clutch play from Rich in the tournament so far. Let's see if he's able to maintain it. Oh, Parasite and Dido, though, making the kills. An early flag capture there for Apex.
Yep, I am on board with Flux now, who is just trying to stop the Apex lineup coming straight back at them. He did manage to get his stuns off, but has been dropped now by Dido. Did manage to get a kill before dying himself. And TCM are majorly on the back foot here, doing some heavy defensive work. And they are actually... we have unfortunately had a disconnection with one of the Apex players, as we do see things tied 3 apiece. 1-0 up to the Apex lineup here on Capture the Flag Arcade, and hopefully things will get reset, stopped, restarted when Liar gets back online. I think that was actually at the 4-minute mark when that happened. So we are just waiting for the host to end the game.
I don't know if it's yourself or me, Gooch, but I'm having a few problems right now with a bit of lag, but we'll just see how things pan out anyway. So just to recap for those of you guys joining the stream, I've just tweeted out as well on @TheVP_Brothers. We saw some big clutch play there at the very end by TCM to stay in this. They brought it back to 3-3 when they could have been 4-2 down in this best of 11 grand final of the WGL Soundblaster tournament. For those of you guys that will be watching this on YouTube, if you do want to actually look into the headsets that both myself and Gucci are commentating with and who are actually sponsoring this tournament, you can by all means click the link in the top right hand corner. You can actually get a discount on these headsets now. They're really awesome. I love using it, and I always use it now for both Xbox and PC. I use my TT Sports one for my laptop. I use this one for my PC just because it's convenient for me, to be honest. But this has been a really close tournament, Gooch, and it's so hard to separate these 2 teams.
It really is. I mean, we said both at the start that it was going to be a very, very competitive game, and that has not disappointed us so far. Liar is back in Arcade and Capture the Flag. Now, I will assume that we'll play sort of 4 minutes left of this first round with the 1-0 lead for the Apex lineup. He did actually disconnect for all those asking in the stream chat, but now we are seeing this is the 7th map, and it is currently tied at 3 apiece.
I'll be honest, Gooch, again.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's yourself or me, Gooch. You know what? I think it's going to be me.
Is your voice
not sure if anyone can hear me, but
I can still hear you.
I think I'm going.
Right, anyway, so as it appears that Rel is having some technical difficulties, I will take over for the solo caster for now. I do apologise, guys. I do actually take my hat off to all solo casters out there. It is very impressive, and I do seem to struggle as I do just go sort of more play-by-play when it comes to solo casting. So I do apologise. I will try and interact with you guys in the stream chat and give you a bit of extra information at the same time. But now we are seeing TCM once again on the back foot, as we did actually see them in the first minute or so that we did see before Liar actually timed out beforehand. And now Flux just opting to do some defensive work in the back of that bar with that PP90. Does get the better of Dido, and did exchange a few blows, so he's not able to push out as he is heavy red, but Liar takes down Jake, Hammers takes down Liar, and kills are just being exchanged, which of course will bode better for the Apex lineup as they are currently winning. So all they need to do is just sort of see this out now, and they are on the weaker side. They are winning 1-0 on what is known as the weaker side, as well as Flux is pushing down this left-hand side. As soon as they get that player into that green area, that means that nobody can spawn on that left-hand side, and they will primarily spawn in the back paint area, which is where TCM need them to be spawning, as that is the easiest place for them to be able to pull a flag. Did actually get stunned as he did so, but the nade of course released the stun. That's what's happened on Modern Warfare 3. Jake running straight through the middle, straight through the B dom, and looking like he's going to be able to capture that flag. Yes, he has done so now, so that has leveled things up, 1 apiece in flag captures on this side now of the capture the flag. It is tied 3-3 overall, and TCM are going for a relay here. Flux pushes straight out into the middle map. Jake managing to take down Parasite, who wasn't running to intercept. Stuns have flown over. Dido has managed to drop Flux. Stunned once again, but Hammers has got that flag and has managed to capture it, but Liar has killed him. Can a flag be pulled straight away? Yes, it will be, but Jake aware of that. 2-1 now, TCM lead. Impressive play as they answer straight back to Apex's initial rush and push. They were instantly on the back foot, but they managed to capitalise well when pushing down into the Apex spawn. Got them off the spawn and essentially did the relay as well. So now Jake pushing that green side. One will be pushing through the middle, and hopefully they will have an AR holding in that top map area as well, in the top glass. Now Jake's just seen one run past him. Does get dropped by Liar there, but his teammate Flux there just to pick up the pieces around him. Rich just opting to hold this middle map and push down the B dom area, and goes for Revan off spawn, but Revan getting the better of him with that MP7. It's actually really interesting to see how the 2-bar effectively that Parasite has, and his teammates are always on a solid 3-bar. It doesn't affect them at all, or at least doesn't appear to. So really, I really want them to get over here and get to an EU land, to be honest. Of course, we have got EGL7 coming up, and I-Series I-46 straight after. I-46 is actually being held at the end of August. Here at WGL we have got some I-46 tournaments going on where you can win tickets, which is basically free entry to the actual event in the bring your own console section. So for all of you guys watching that want to take part in that, feel free to go over to the wgl.co.uk, go and check that out, get yourself signed up and potentially win yourself free entry to a LAN event, which is always pretty good. Good prize on offer. But now TCM have dropped 3 players, only Parasite left alive to defend that flag. Jake has got the nade onto the back of him, has managed to pull that flag away uncontested there, as that nade did the job. He needs to get that head down. Parasite and Dido have dropped players across the other side of the map, needs to run and jump that in, does so, extends that lead, now 3-1 on total flag captures as he jumps up on that sofa, comes head on head with Dido. And that was all 4 minutes played there on that side. So 3-1 on the first side of the capture the flag, of course. 1 minute was played previously. Dido, no, it was Liar, sorry, lagged out. But then we have ended that after the 4 minutes replay. TCM Rich doing his work there, 12-7 with the huge slaying ability. So it was looking like he was holding those spawns and enabling the flag runs to essentially just flow through the middle map. So huge play there from TCM. We're going to go on board with the top team now. Once again, that will actually give us Apex's version, as they do currently trail 3-1 on total flag caps for this map. But they are 3-3 tied scores apiece on the overall best of 11. So now we are just waiting for all players to spawn in, and I'm on board with Revan first of all, who's pushing straight up the top glass and going to go down the middle escalators, but gets taken down by Flux. Them 2 PP90s came head on head, and now I've defaulted to Parasite, who's looking like he needs to push out, but then opting to push back because of his teammates dropping all around him. Just going to sit on those stairs. He's just seen a player middle map. We'll have called that out to Revan there, so Revan got the better of Jake. Parasite just opting to watch that middle map now. The PP90 is ever so effective at close range, so whenever anybody pushes into bar, Parasite's got that covered. Now going to push out. Needs to get the TCM players that have just died off the spawn. Parasite takes down Rich. That is 3 down there. Hammers first off the spawn, takes down Parasite. The flag is being run through this middle link. Flag carrier Revan is fully stunned. He's managed to weaken those stuns away from him, push straight down into the sidebar, jump that flag home. That is now 3-2 to the TCM lineup. Apex are getting themselves back in this. Revan doing some defensive work now, taking down Jake. 3-2 currently to TCM against Apex here on the 7th map of the best of 11 series, and we are seeing a very tight matchup. To be honest, I can't really separate the two sides. Of course, I did miss the first two maps. I saw the first 2 minutes of the first map essentially, where TCM did actually look more dominant than what the Apex lineup did, but Apex managed to win that on overtime. Now, the flag was pulled momentarily by TCM and got all the way to B-Dom, but Revan going for the return. Doesn't manage to get the return on that. Parasite is also pulling the flag, but their own flag is currently stuck at B-Dom. Hammers has dropped Dido, Flux has dropped Parasite. Can they get that flag and pull it? Revan's throwing the stuns over. Doesn't look like any of the TCM lineup are over there to actually get that flag and pull it home. Will automatically reset soon. It has just reset. Hammers there with the two-piece, Flux with the third. Dido has been dropped. We are looking on Laya doing the only work for his team now. Not looking like it's going to be done. So it's looking like they are going to make that 4-2 now to TCM as all three Apex players spawn back bar. So that meant a clear run straight through the map for TCM. Once again, guys, I do apologise for the solo cast. All 922 of you currently tuning in. We do thank each and every one of you for doing so. We have experienced some technical difficulties, which does mean that I am solo casting. Rel has just timed out, unfortunately. We have had a couple of players time out through the events of the evening as well, but we are still on board with this matchup. Not too sure what time one of the Apex players has to go, but as it stands 3-3 in the best of 11, it will be first to 6 maps overall, and it is looking like TCM are going to take this, but we won't count them out yet. Parasite has just got that two-piece there. They are only trailing by 2 flags. It's currently 4-2 to TCM. So 2 flags is a more than achievable feat with 1 minute 40 left on that clock, especially when Parasite has got all the way to sidebar with that flag, looking like he's going to get that in. Yes, he is going to do so. So now they are only trailing by 1 flag, and with 1 minute 30 left on that clock, more than enough time. There we are, Parasite pushing down that left hand side, takes down Flux in the minibar area. I think I just spied a deagle there. That's not something that you see every day. Now, Parasite did actually have to ask me on Skype earlier whether it was allowed in our rule set, and of course the answer is yes. All handguns are allowed as long as they are not akimboed. Revan trying to push straight down that middle there. Laya and Dido getting the better of Hammers and Rich, and that flag is being pulled once again with only 1 minute left on that clock. Dido is pulling that flag straight through the middle. Jake has just dropped Laya, but Parasite gets the better of Flux. That deagle, that is why it's not used very often. Looking like this flag has made it into bar and has been captured by Dido. That makes it 4-4 total flag caps. Wow, we could be seeing an overtime here. Nothing separates these two sides. 3-1 it is on this side. 3-1 it was to TCM on the first side. Parasite and Revan, we could potentially be seeing another flag capture as well. They will set up on these spawns now. Laya pushing down this left-hand side, throwing the stuns through. Jake just trying to hold on for his team. Parasite went for a flag pull. Rich has managed to drop Revan. Could we be seeing a last-second flag cap? Oh, I don't know. TCM have just dropped 2 of the players, but also a team kill in there as well. Could that cost them? We will see. Laya going to go for that last 15-second flagpole, going to run it straight through the middle as well. This could be cheeky. Has spied a player over the other side. He's just going to drop his head. Has been stunned. Has been dropped by Jake. Flag return there from Jake, and that has kept them in it. Wow, such a matchup we are seeing here. 3-3 on total map count, 4-4 on total flag count for this side on Arcaden. Wow, impressive stuff, guys. Please feel free to let us know in the comment section, who do you think is going to actually take this overall? I think, to be honest, it could potentially go all the way. Nothing is actually separating these two sides at the minute. So we are just going to end this up, go to a stopwatch. Basically the problem that we are currently having with Rel getting back online, he's just sent me a text message. He doesn't have the ability like myself to change his IP address each time that this happens, so unfortunately I'm not sure whether we'll be seeing him get back online anytime soon. So sorry guys, but you are stuck with me. I do apologise, of course, for those of you that have just joined us. My name is Gucci and you are joining us here for the Soundblaster WGL tournament. We are going to go on board with the top team, which will be TCM here on the seventh map of the best of 11 series, currently tied 3 apiece, and this is overtime. So for those of you that don't know, I'm sure most of you will do by now already. Anyway, we did see an overtime in the first map, which Apex did actually win with a time of a 50-second cap, I think it was. Rel said to me afterwards, I was unfortunately not here at the time, but is essentially the team that can capture the flag the quickest. And now Jake pushing straight down to that vending machine area, does get dropped by Liar. Liar with a 2-piece there, taking down Jake and Rich. Hammer shutting him out, Flux off the spawn. He spawned dumb away and pushed straight down into this middle map area and getting his stuns over. Is opting for that nade that he is going to cook towards the rubble, but not pick anyone up with that, but has been dropped by a nade in turn by Parasite. So now TCM again on the back foot. As we did see this side get played before, Apex came very aggressive, and unfortunately Jake misses Dido there, lay it on the floor. Rich doing the defensive work, taking down Revan and Dido as they push in for the flags. Rich and Hammer's going to push up as a unit now to secure the middle map area. Rich just getting on that helicopter to provide some aerial advantage. Hammers and Flux both making kills. This is looking good for TCM as they push in. Rich just jumping into the green spawn, going to block that spawn for a second. Parasite dropping Jake and Flux. A Parasite with the 2-piece has been shut down by Rich. Kills being exchanged once again between the two sides. Nothing can separate them, but can Hammers play his part? He's pulling that flag. Rich knows that there was nobody from his team in that green spawning area, which will mean that Apex can easily spawn there. 2 of them have done so. Rich just managing to take his time and bide his teammates some time carrying that flag, but now 4 down. And can we be seeing a counter cap from Apex? It's looking like yes we can. Revan has got that flag. It was momentarily 4 down for TCM. Rich goes head on head with Parasite. Parasite with the 2-piece, that could be crucial. We are going to be seeing 3 minutes on that clock when that flag gets pulled, so that has meant that it was overtime. 2-minute flag capture first of all for Apex. So that is what TCM do need to beat. There was 3 minutes left on the clock total, of course, out of a 5-minute round. So we will be seeing TCM try and better that. So we will be watching the Apex lineup as they attempt to defend that lead. So now we are going to be ending this matchup, flip the spawns over and see how TCM can respond. So very impressive. Unfortunately though, counter cap is what cost TCM their call in the end. They managed to get the flag halfway up, got shut down completely, 4 down, and of course Apex ran away with it. So we'll get on board with the top team once again, see how Apex can defend this. To be honest, I don't see them actually sitting back to defend. I think, to be honest, they will actually go to increase their lead. However, the way Revan started that off, we did see him aggressively push down escalators before, whereas now he's decided to hang back. Jake taking down Parasite, so that does look better for TCM. The first kill of the game goes to them. Revan coming head on head, getting himself on that head glitch, has lost the height advantage, and that was momentarily 4 down. Parasite straight off the spawn. The flag is being pulled by TCM, has got the stuns over, has managed to drop Hammers the flag carrier as well. Flux has managed to drop Liar. Parasite just going to throw more stuns, and Semtex is down at the flag itself. Has got the Deagle. That won't do much good for him, I don't think, to be honest. Never really been much of a trusted weapon. That flag has been dropped. Will it get returned? Stuck in limbo. Revan there, sneaking up on him. Hammers has managed to drop him. Liar has been dropped as well. That is going to be a flag capture. 50 seconds. Liar, Dido, they are not happy about that. But that has been a flag capture for TCM, and they have extended now to 4-3. The total map count for this evening's best of 11. I'm not too sure why 2 of the players actually quit out there. Liar and Dido have both quit. However, we will not be swapping hosts. There is a dedicated host in the form of Anarchy Hoodlum, so a huge thank you to him for this evening, for giving up his time and hosting. I'm just going to have a quick chat with the admin. We aren't going to be seeing the completion of the final tonight, guys. It is going to be next Monday, 9 PM GMT time, the same time as what you were experiencing this week. I think, to be honest, Liar has got to go to work, which is why we are seeing this. So a huge thank you to all of you that have tuned in this evening. Remember, it will be concluded next week, currently 4-3 to TCM. Such impressive stuff, guys. Remember to subscribe to the channel. You will be notified in your YouTube sub box this time next week when we go live. Follow me on Twitter. I will tweet out a link when we go live and give some hype up during the day. That is Goochhy, Goochhyy. Search that on your Twitter. I'm close to 2,000 followers, so go and follow me there, and you will be seeing this next week. We do apologise for cutting this short, guys. However, other players have got things going on. Unfortunately, the connection issues didn't actually help us out too well this evening, but such an epic game you have currently seen so far. 4-3 to TCM as it stands, so do not miss out, guys. Remember to come back next week and watch the conclusion of this final Soundblaster tournament here on WGL TV.